Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the start of a brand new World Cup. We had the Women's Rugby World Cup starting just around the corner. It's just started. Now we have got the Rugby League World Cup. It's a massive opener. England, the home side, taking on Samoa. There are a lot of people running around on the field at the moment, so we're probably still another 5 to 10 minutes away from this game getting underway. But Samoa, they close as the slight favourites, only just though. England, they're going to be a tough side to beat, but with this Samoan backline, maybe it's just enough for them to be able to get the job done. But looking through at the sides, hope you guys are all doing well. Also sitting 2:30 a.m. here in New Zealand, but it seems like the perfect time to kick off a World Cup with it taking place in England. But looking through at the backline, Sam Tompkins at number one, then Tommy Mackinson out on one wing, Callum Watkins, Herbie Farnworth, Dominic Young, Jack Welshby, and George Williams will be the last of those backs. Now, the thing is, I'm not that familiar with this English lineup, which is why this is such an exciting time to be able to learn all about these players as we progress through the competition. And yeah, it's awesome that we do get to do it alongside you guys. We have got Nazi Williams in the chat. This guy's the man. Nazi Williams, appreciate you, mate. And also Humpet. I think it's Humpet. As said good night. And there as well, but it's being played live at St James's Park in Newcastle. Normally Newcastle United's home ground. This time England going to be trying to make it their fortress. Looking through at the forwards for the English. Tom Burgess is in there. Michael Mickelorum. That name's going to start rolling off the tongue hopefully by the end of this match. Chris Hill, Elliot Whitehead, Mike McMeekin, and Victor Radley. That is the starting lineup that England have gone with for this fixture. Now looking through at Samoa, you'll see quite a few Penrith Panthers players in this starting lineup. Definitely in that back line. They are going to be as follows. Joseph Sua'ali'i is their number one. Brian Toa, he was sensational throughout the final of the NRL when he did play up against the Parramatta Eels, getting himself the double, and will certainly be looking to do nothing less in this contest up against the English. Isaac Targo, Stephen Crichton, then Hamiso Tabuai Fidel. Hopefully that's not too far off the pronunciation there. Jerome Luai could be one of the key players for Samoa throughout this contest. If he can really cement himself as the playmaker in the back line, that is where the danger will come for the Samoans. And then Anthony Milford will be there as the last man in their back line. Looking through at the forwards, and boy, they have a lot of size here for Samoa. Josh Papali'i, Danny Levi, Junior Paulo, those three in their own right, or even just the two, Papali'i and Paulo, throughout State of Origin, they were very good, very strong, and it's exactly what they'll be wanting in this clash in Newcastle. Then it is Jaden Sewer, Josh Alawanoy. There's a guy in my ears who got very loud. We've finally found commentators at the moment at the ground. So that is good news. They are going to have those names being said throughout the match. And then Hamlin Yuli is going to be there as the last forward in this contest. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be able to get themselves the win in this contest? That's you, bro. Are you the man on this mean team, says Nazi Williams. And also Toa Samoa and Obra, says Becca and Chahu from Ben. And there's, I thought this was live, was going to show the actual game, but never mind, says Becca. Yeah, sadly, due to licensing, we're unable to show any match footage or audio, but depending on where you are in the world, we may be able to help you out with a good way of being able to watch this contest. If you're in New Zealand, Spark Sport is your best bet. But other than that, I'm going to turn down one of my lights. I'm very bright at the moment. And also, we have got anyone know where to watch the game, says Classic Tings. Now, they did have a warm-up game that they did show on YouTube, but I don't believe the warm-up games are considered the same as the actual Rugby League World Cup games. I'm in Sydney, says Ben, so I believe Sydney probably looking at either Stan Sport or KO as your best option there. And also, how much what happened in the Women's Rugby World Cup? Does New Zealand win it? They're only 1 week in. New Zealand playing tomorrow up against Wales. We will also be covering that one on the channel. Now, I was just checking to see if the TAB had the Rugby League World Cup here in New Zealand. They do not, unfortunately, but they do have the odds. And Samoa closing as a $1.72 favourite over England, who are the underdogs, $2.03. So theoretically, according to those stats, we should have a relatively close game on our hands. And I feel like that's going to be a fair assumption because both of these sides, they have very talented players, pretty solid defence. And now both sides about to make it out onto the field from the changing room. Is it on now? Almost about 5 to 10 minutes away. They are running a little bit behind, but to be expected, I guess you could say, for the very first match of the Rugby League World Cup. Of course, just around the corner, we've also got the Women's Rugby League World Cup, and the Wheelchair Rugby League World Cup is going to be starting up soon as well. Hello from Iraq, brother. Cheering for our Pacific Island brothers, says Lauricio. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Any options on where to watch the game, says Becca. I know that on I believe we've got the official Rugby League World Cup website. They'll be able to tell you exactly where the best options are. I will quickly get that up while we are waiting for our two sides to make their way out onto the field. Rugby League World Cup. You're going to hear me say 2021. You're going to hear me say 2022. The thing is, it's kind of both. It's just the fact that it's a delayed by 1 year coverage type thing. So it's a bit weird, I guess you could say, in some regards. Right, the Rugby League World Cup. It's going to tell me, there we go. That's the one. No, that's the Rugby World Cup. That's not what we want. Surely they have an official website. I know that they've got, there we go. We might have found it. And are you going to talk like this the whole match, or is it full screen? Sadly, it is just my voice. So you may get very sick of this voice by the end of this live stream. If you do stick around, that is. If you don't, completely understandable. I know a lot of people want to be able to watch this game. Sadly, due to licensing, we are unable to show the match footage, or else we get in a lot of trouble by YouTube and also copyright infringement laws and whatnot. And also 685 says it's not fishy and pay your respects to Sky. The best if you can't afford Sky, etc., says Nazi Williams. And also we were there, the Fijian flags, the Tongan flags, the Samoan flags, the Fiji flags, and then also it is on repeat, from Lauricio and there as well. So Rugby League World Cup, I'd like to think they'd have somewhere on their website saying where to watch, but it doesn't look like they do, which is weird to not have somewhere where you can officially watch it. So I would assume your best bet if you're in Australia is with KO or Stan Sport. If you're in Fiji or any of the Pacific Islands, I believe Sky Pacific is your best bet. Ireland are playing in the Rugby League World Cup. Indeed, though, Hamish, says Patrick, they are indeed. And made their way in there. Of the 16 sides, we're about to hear the Samoan national anthem. They will fire up the boys big time. The thing is, Samoa, the type of side to go out there and just put on a massive hit for the very first hit of a World Cup, one that's going to be echoing around the world for the next few weeks. And I don't want to be the English player who gets hit by that massive shot, because he probably will need surgery after it. And I hope this Toa Samoa team get to utilize well on every player's ability, says Salafina. Yeah, on paper, they're a brilliant side. It's just whether or not that chemistry carries over from the NRL, because you have got Jerome Luai, Stephen Crichton, Isaac Targo, Brian To'o, all class players with a little bit of size in the four-back with Papali and Paulo. Although both of those men, you have to say near the end of the season, we probably saw a little bit more of Papali than we did of Junior Paulo when it got to the final stage of the NRL. He just didn't quite fire the way that he was throughout the regular season and Origin. We have got greetings from Papua New Guinea. Go Pacifica, says Nesta T. And of course, Papua New Guinea going to have themselves a game a little bit later on in this Rugby League World Cup. We are going to be covering as many of the games as we possibly can. This is our only game of today, though, as we have got Bulls versus Munster in the URC at the same time as Australia versus Fiji. We will be keeping you updated on what is happening in both of those games throughout that URC live stream. Let's go Samoa, says Taluna. So yeah, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what is your score prediction? Now, I did end up predicting a little bit earlier on. I was chatting to someone and I said Samoa by 6. I'm going to stick with that, even though I think it could be Samoa by 4, which makes me think that this game is going to be very close. But either way, hoping for a high-scoring one. We saw England in their warm-up game up against the Fijians win 50-0. Samoa, I don't actually know. On my website, it says that they didn't have a warm-up game, but I feel like that would be pretty harsh, not give a side like Samoa a warm-up matchup. So I assume they played someone, and they probably did pretty well in that contest. And Hamish, your favourite rugby jersey, says Coding. Ooh, favourite rugby jersey. We talking rugby union or all rugby, Coding? Because there's some very nice ones at this Rugby League World Cup. I mean, the Samoan kit seems like it's extremely tight. You can see Brian To'o there in the thumbnail. He's got muscles on muscles on muscles, pretty much trying to break straight through it. It's muscles that I don't think I'll ever see on my body. That is going to be the two national anthems done. Newcastle United's home ground going to be host to this exciting game at St. James's Park. Looks like Samoa certainly fired up. I believe we're going to get to see a haka, and then we are going to be underway for this contest. And also Zoo has said yes in there as well. Well, they have called it the cultural dance for the Samoans. But for me, yeah, I'm still sticking with Samoa by a narrow margin. I think England are going to start this match well, but as Samoa start getting in those big hits, start putting on that pressure, that's where England may start to take a little bit of a backward step, but that's not going to be a very big backward step, I wouldn't think. Well, this one, and also we got there, Siva Tol, not Haka in there, says Taluna. Yeah, I always call it the wrong thing, don't I? I guess that's just from being from New Zealand. I get so used to calling it a Haka, but yeah, the cultural dance. Oh, Junior Polo going to be leading it as well. Is this live footage or just the commentary? It is just my commentary. Unfortunately, due to licensing and copyright, we're unable to show any match footage on the channel. I wish that we could, but yeah, YouTube will take us straight down. So it is just commentary, but yeah, be free or feel free to stick around throughout the match. They will have highlights on YouTube, hopefully straight after the game. So if you can't watch it live, you should be able to watch the highlights just after. My favorite rugby league jersey is the Jimasung T-Rexes. The jersey are pretty cool, says Sue there. And also international rugby kit. I would say international-wise, I want to say the All Blacks just because it's such an iconic jersey for so long. But like international league jersey, I'll be honest, I am a fan of the Samoan kit. It's very nice. I enjoy the blue on the white. It's got the cultural and patterns on the front as well. And these boys are fired up at the moment. Brian To'o. I've mentioned those muscles earlier on. He's certainly getting them fired up. Okay, they've just given it a cheer. Who at the front? I cannot say that as well, unfortunately. Who do you go for? Says Ed, I'm going for Samoa by 6. Although I'm sure that will change throughout this matchup, mainly because I'll get excited and probably change my mind halfway through. But for now, I'm sticking with Samoa by 6. You let me know your score predictions in the chat as well, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to also say first try of the match, Brian To'o, a bit aggressive, says Hanoi. And there's, oh yeah, right in the face of the English, not backing down. Oh, he crossed the middle line. I don't know whether he's allowed to do that, but who's going to tell a Samoan he's not allowed to do that? So it's just going to be what it is. Don't worry, the Kiwi lads. I will keep you in the game. He got you, says Nate there. And yeah, like I always mentioned, I would say at the moment, I would class myself as probably a casual rugby league viewer. I don't watch every game of internationals, unfortunately. It's just with all the scheduling, the scheduling being at about the same time as a lot of the other sports that we cover. It does make it tricky, but you know, we're going to do a few of these Rugby League World Cup games. I'm excited to see who gets himself the job done. I know that the next game we are covering is actually New Zealand versus Lebanon. That will be tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And yeah, should be a very terrific game. They're just showing the forwards and the backs of the Samoan lineup. Definitely watch out for Luai and To'o. Those two have been tearing it up for the Panthers throughout the NRL. Two-time defending champs. Whereas England, they have got Young out on the side. Tompkins at the back with a lot of experience there. Hello, Hamish. Good to be back, says Dominic. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Currently only a few minutes away from this matchup getting started. And the Rugby League World Cup, it was scheduled for 2021 in England. It was delayed, but now we are finally here, rearing to go. A referee in charge of this matchup. It is going to be Ashley Klein. Okay, they've said he's currently in the NRL. And also, I guess that's the thing. A lot of these players have actually already faced each other, depending on whether or not you're looking at the NRL competition, whether you're looking at the English competition. You know, the Leeds Rhinos, I believe the next game that's being played today, it's actually going to be at their home ground. So a few other players, maybe a bit of a homecoming coming up later on in the competition. Throughout this group, though, I will mention it is Samoa, it is England, and then also alongside those two sides, it will be, I've got to try and remember this. It's going to be France. They are also in that group. And then I believe I'm going to have to look at this one. It is Greece as the final side. If England lose, is it embarrassing as they're the hosts? I wouldn't say embarrassing. Samoa is not a bad side to lose to. You know, if you lost to Samoa by 20, maybe a little bit of disappointment, I'd say, was the better way of describing it rather than embarrassing. But Samoa, they will rip your head off if they get it right early on in the contest. And can you show us, please, says Matt. Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets us taken straight off YouTube, sadly. So we will just be doing the commentary. And we have got Kai in the chat as well. And said, hey there, welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. England will be kicking off this one. Jerome Luai crouching down, getting the thighs warmed up. He might get a big run early, try and get himself the confidence. And I know that it was talked about that Luai is going to be one of the keys in this backline. And England really should be winning this, really, says Ollie. They do come in as $2.03 underdogs. but only just. That's the thing. This is one of those games that on paper is probably about as close as it can get for a Rugby League World Cup out of all the matches we are seeing in round one. And the best thing about it is it's the opening game. So it's going to be expect the unexpected and enjoy it every step of the way. But England about to kick off this one. Good luck to these lads. Let's go, says Nate. The Rugby League World Cup underway. And it's going to be Samoa who get themselves the first carry. And it's going to be a tackle made by 4 English players. So committing plenty of men early on, getting that first bit of physicality out there after a good run forward from Stephen Crichton. At the moment, the commentators sound extremely hyped up for this contest, as they should be. It's going to be an epic matchup between these two sides. Big shot now. I know that neither of these sides want any suspensions or injuries throughout this first matchup. Junior Paulo has a good carry forward, was tackled by Mikalarum, whose name I still can't quite say. Now, Josh Papali'i hits it hard at the line, almost moving up to halfway now for Samoa as they hit their 4th phase. Oh, he's not too happy with the English defender. Putting the hand on the chest as well. And it's going to be kicked early from Samoa, actually kicking on 4th. Interesting tactic. It's going to be Sam Tompkins now. Gives it off, and England have got this ball 20 metres out from their own line. England by 20 plus, says Dominic there. And also, what channel would it be on in the UK? I believe it's on Sky Sport UK. I'm not too sure of the exact channel, though, for this one, because I believe it's got a very similar looking lineup in terms of the layout, as what we'd see for something like a Premier League competition. So I believe it might be something similar to that. I'm too excited for this match. The moment England moving up to the halfway line. I've hit 4th phase. Another big run forward. That was from Mike McMeekin. Now going short side, 5th and final, 49 metres. They were able to gain with that one. Now Samoa have to clean it up. Good attack and run from Suali'i. Samoa, once again, have got themselves another chance. League ref far better than Union ref, and Samoa win today. How are you, bro? Says Roman. I'm doing very well. It's an entertaining day of rugby and rugby league. We've got another game later on, the Bulls versus Munster. And the question there is Munster going to be able to fire back after a lackluster start to the season? Brian To'o, his first carry of the day, now going off to the short side. Will be Levi, offloads it up to the number 12, Sua. I love from me, bro. No disrespect. And Sam Tompkins got paid heaps for the Warriors, says Nazi Williams there. It's going to be kicked in behind. Nice kick from Samoa. Almost a 40-20, but it finished about a 40-22, you'd have to say. That man's found a beer and the ball. So he's having a good day so far. How much you travel in New Zealand public transport? Where I live, it sounds really interesting, but we don't have public transport, really. I think there might be a van that goes places. But because we're from such a small town, we don't really need public transport. You can kind of just walk anywhere. Overall, I think supermarket's close enough. The pub's close enough if you like a beverage or two. I feel like from me saying a beverage or two, you can tell I don't often have a beverage or two, mainly because I do live streams at 3 a.m. Another big run from England. This time, Mackinson moves up to halfway. Junior Paulo makes a good tackle on him. Let's go Samoa, says Nettie. And also we have got the why, bro, you're not showing any cricket match, says Ron. We have got some cricket coming up relatively soon. It's just been the scheduling and alongside work. It's been hard to juggle over the last couple of weeks. Tompkins, great ball now on the outside. Here we go. Down the wing, first opportunity. I believe that was Dominic Young to move up to 20 metres out. Samoa having to defend here at the moment. Or they start the tackle count again. So they have got 20 metres to gain in 6 phases for them. England. Very good position on the field. It looks like they were asking for the 6 more again for a second there. Now nice pass off. Going to the left-hand side. Inside ball. Great run forward from Whitehead. Does get tackled around the ankles by Junior Paulo. Now England goes short side. Getting close. So Ali'i has to jump on him. Seems like England have really come to play in front of their home crowd. Now we did see in the, I believe it was the 7s, we saw that England just weren't quite as clinical as they could have been in front of a home crowd, whereas this rugby league side looked like they're playing a whole different level at the moment than we saw compared to the 7s. Nice run once again. They're on to the last tackle, 5th and final. Do they kick it or do they just go for the backline movement here for England? So 10 metres out. Little grubber in behind. Or was the player obstructed? Did he get it down as well? That might have been the try for Farnworth. Okay, he doesn't look like he's that happy. I would have thought scoring an opener in a World Cup would make you a lot happier than that. So I don't think he's got it down to how powerhouses be in the final. Australia versus the Kiwis CS Spider making very nice commentary, bro. Keep it up. And there. And also we have got there as well. We good or so good. We get another 8 weeks of rugby league and Northern Hemisphere Tour Union. Yeah, there's a lot of rugby and rugby league coming up in the near future. The TMO says, Nate, there was it the try for Herbie Farnworth. It was close. They want to check for some obstruction as well. Did I turn off the heat pump? Not too sure. If it didn't, it's going to be a sauna in here real soon because I got a green screen up in the way of it. I don't think I turned it off though. Which team are you putting your money in this? I don't have any money, but if I had money, I'd probably, I want to say I'd back Samoa, but England looking good in the early stages. Wasn't a try? I don't believe so. I don't know if he got it grounded. He wasn't very excited. And I often base my judgment off excitement levels. There was a little bit of obstruction. Yeah, I think he's fumbled it, unfortunately for Farnworth. Okay, his teammate wanted to claim it. I don't think Farnworth wanted to claim it, though. So Ali'i tried to get across, tried to stop it. It was in Farnworth's hands. He's lost that one. Unfortunately, no clear grounding for him there. And such short and goals, yeah. It's interesting because some of the grounds in England, you can almost run a marathon just inside of the in-goal area. We see that for the Gallagher Premiership sometimes. Whereas these ones, I guess, what would you say, maybe 10 metres? 1, 2, 3, 4, in fact, 5 metres, I'd say, with 5 big strides from Farnworth. It's a big TMO decision early on. And unlucky, my guy, no try. Says Nate there. Right. Okay, they are saying there's a little bit of impeding. Didn't ground the ball also. So is it going to be a knock on or are we going back? Okay, definitely obstruction. Seems to be the call there. And they are deciding now that they will take on the 2 points for England. Strategic, 4.5 minutes through this contest. They want to make sure they get some reward early for the amount of meters that they were able to make for themselves. Let's go, Samoa. Jahi. I feel like I still don't quite have the emphasis of the voice to do that part, do I? And England getting the W, says Swerve. And there as well. Have you got a score prediction? Do let me know. It's one of those matches. I think it's going to be decided by less than 6. But I don't know, it's going to be a tricky game. I'm looking forward to seeing both of these sides really go out there, show what they can do in their opening game. Alongside them in their group, they've got Greece and France. I'd like to think that both of these sides would beat both of those other sides relatively comfortably, maybe, and no interest. But love me some Seamus, says Colm there. And also we have got there Go Toa, says Melu there. Going to be lined up now for the kick. And that one's gone over. So England now with themselves a 2-0 lead. It was a good kick from Makinson. And also 685, baby Shahu, Western Samoa. Samoan flag, I should say. It comes through as WS for myself, which I always end up reading wrong. But yeah, do appreciate you being here. A lot of you guys up at a random hour of the night. I do respect the amount of commitment you guys have got for your Samoan side. Hopefully they can fire themselves back into this contest soon and get some points on the board. England trying to draw Samoa off their defensive lines. Uso's calm, says Nate. And there as well. It's currently 2-0 for the English after 6 minutes. Looks like we've got a few people running onto the field. Okay, they forgot the tee. That is why we are waiting a little bit longer, but it was a close opportunity for Herbie Farnworth to be able to get his first try of the Rugby League World Cup, but that is still now on the line. Someone here will be able to get the first ever try of the 2021 Rugby League World Cup. They've got a whole heap of balls, but none of them seem to be the one that they actually want. Okay. Oh, ball boy's just fallen. That's not what you want early. Luckily, he's all right. Gets the pat on the head from Suoli. Make sure that he's all right. Worst thing would have been if he had fallen while he was going off the field, but he gets a cheer from the crowd, gets the fist bump as well from the trainer. And also, Milf should go to the Warriors, says Hanoi there. Oh, great take from England by Wellesby. Currently sitting about 15 metres out from their own line here. England, they'll be looking to get another 50 metres or so from this phase play and playing safe with that 2 points. Have to be mistake, goes Samoa, says unknown to all. And yeah, I guess that's just that early the nerve calmer, I guess you'd call it. Just making sure, that was a little mistake on the ground almost from England. But Watkins just being able to hang on to that ball. Good drive and tackle backwards from Papali'i on Radley. But yeah, it's just getting those points going. Okay, we're happy enough to go into the lead in this contest. Yeah, England are certainly going to have to make sure they get some tries throughout this game. They're going for the kick in behind it, looking like a decent one until it went straight to Suali'i. And now it's the dangerous factor of the number one for Samoa, sitting currently 30 metres out from their line. That sounds like a big siren, which is another set restart. Great run from Brian To'o. Makes a couple extra metres in the process. Now going off to the left-hand side, taking the big Samoans down low. It's the best way of doing it. If you try and get them around the chest, that's normally how concussions happen. Oh, Papali'i just runs straight into Watkins. And also two better than none, says Spider-Mick. And there as well. Now going short side. Samoa, quick hands. Nice play out the back. Suali'i once again. Be driven a little bit closer to the touchline. This defence from England so far has been very structured. I think Samoa, they're just taking their time, making sure that they eventually can find a way through. Because with Samoa, as soon as they start finding gaps, here comes Luai. Ball on the outside, gives it off to one of the biggest men out there on the park. And Hamlin Yuli. Now going off to the left. Luai once again has it. Now starting to see the playmaker in progress just a little bit more. Kicked him behind now from Milford. Goes straight into the hands of Farnworth, the man who almost got himself the try at the other end. Now England breaking a couple tackles in a row. But Crichton has been able to help make the tackle on him. That siren is new, says Annoy there. I wonder if it's going to be at every ground or whether it's just going to be at this one that they do have the massive siren. That's a massive hit, though. He's probably done well to get up from that one, Makinson, without any serious injuries or a dental bill just around the corner. Big shots from Samoa. They are starting to find their feet here in defence. England 40 metres out from the line. And when is it starting? It did start 8 minutes ago. But unfortunately, due to licensing, we're unable to show match footage, or else we do get ourselves in copyright trouble, sadly. Now England back up to the halfway line. Nice pass off the back. Short ball. Goes straight into the hands of Whitehead. They have been making metres relatively comfortably here, England, throughout the early stages. Another 53. That is something that Samoa will certainly have to wait. See whether or not it will cost them. Little chip in behind by Williams. It's a knock-on from Suali'i. The mistake, and we're going to see the first scrum of the day. Hang on. Is there an offside? Is that what we've just heard? England, there might have been an offside against Samoa here. And they might have the penalty, or is it just going for the knock-on? I think it's just going to be the knock-on. Very nice commentary, bro. Keep it up. Says, it was Roman, and also nice hit. Milford, says Nate there. And Samoa, sprinter. Brits a marathon. Brits by 20 plus, says Spider-Man. Go Samoa, says Valsefa. That was all right. Junior Polo just having a bit of a chat with the referee, finding out what that one was for. So I believe it was a little kick in behind by George Williams. There was a bit of obstruction off the ball, maybe once again, by one of the English players who were trying to chase their way through. Yeah, Sam Tompkins just got blocked pretty much. And Milford shouldn't have touched it. Says Hanoi there. So now another set of 6 for the English as they sit only 15 metres out from the line. Nice pass across. Now Burgess, Tom Burgess getting close. About 5 metres out from the line now for England. They have options on the right and the left. They will go left this time. Now back across. Quick hands needed. Beautiful work from Williams. That's very high. He's given him a throat slap. I haven't described a tackle like that before. Yeah, slap to the throat. Hopefully he's all right. I think he is, though. Tompkins, he's a tough individual. Now inside ball, Victor Radley. Still 5 metres out from the line here. They've got one more phase after this one. Nice short ball to Tom Burgess. 1 metre short. Now 5th and final. A little bit slow getting up there. Burgess going off to the right-hand side. That was a terrible pass, and it's really set him up for failure. Unfortunately, Jack Welshby, sorry. No option just to take on that contact. Now, nice work once again from Samoa to get those couple extra metres after getting the ball back. 10 minutes into this game already. England still with themselves a 2-0 lead. Brian To'o, nice carry forward. Matt Parrish, the Samoan head coach, be looking forward to seeing what his side can do throughout this World Cup. I believe it is the top 2 from every group will then move through to the quarterfinal. Short ball to Junior Polo. Takes 3 players to not put him down, but slow him down enough that is considered held. Now going short side. Danny Levi kicked him behind. Only 36 metres game from Samoa. So about a 15-metre difference between what we're seeing from England each time they attack. And there's a player down for Samoa as well. We'll keep an eye on him in back play. Now England, though, Almost moving up to the halfway line with Makinson. Very good at making those meters. Right, the player who was down was actually Isaac Targo. He's got back to his feet and he's actually made a tackle. No, it wasn't, sorry. There's another guy and there's another siren. Set restart. England 40 metres out from the line now. Tompkin plays half. Back across to the left. Almost going through. Victor Radley, he's been sensational throughout the early stages of this contest. Now only 20 metres out on their second tackle. Now Williams, nice stepping, goes through, finds the offload, 5 metres out. Now Nell tries to get back up. Chris Hill it was. Now around the side going dummy. Tompkins is going to be held up. Believe it's going to be the goal line dropout now. Samoa survive. It's the best way of describing that one. And go Samoa, says Roman. An England best team cricket match. Says Roman, very handy in the cricket, very handy in the rugby league though. I believe they are coming in as third favourites to be able to win this competition. Australia about $1.50, New Zealand $3.25 or somewhere around there. And then it is England and Samoa neck and neck. After that, though, there's actually a massive gap. I believe after those top sides, I believe it might be Tonga as the next team. And they're paying about $151 to be able to win this competition. Very close. Junior Polo with the great defence to just hold it up. It was on the thigh of the Samoan player. Sam Tompkins got to practice a roly-poly. I haven't done one of those in a while. I'll probably hurt my back very badly if I tried to do a roly-poly now. You got to tuck the neck, don't you? That's the best tactic for a roly-poly. Backwards roll, though, I could never get the hang of. I had to do them down like a wedge when we had to do them at school. I don't know why we had to do roly-polies at school. I feel like it's one of those ones that they feel like it will teach you something later in life. But I'm not sure what. Maybe when you're trying to like roll out of a big fall. Tom Burgess! Did he just reach out and score it? He's claiming it. I think he just slammed that ball into the ground and Burgess might have just scored the opener. That was a brilliant run. He's a very long individual. Like it looked like he was short by a metre. And then the arm just kind of extends like Inspector Gadget. Okay, they want to close up. I believe the TMOs from Australia. And also come cricket for commentary, bro. Says Roman, there is some cricket coming up on the channel very soon. So Burgess, first of all, gets tackled a metre short, reaches. Oh, it's like maybe he's got the pinky controlling it, but it's not a lot more than a pinky. I think that's been lost, unfortunately, for Burgess. Did you see the Lions almost beat Ulster, losing 37 points to 39? I did see it was a very close game at halftime. So I guess narrowly avoiding a victory. The Ulster's probably done pretty well to get themselves that victory over the Lions. Definitely with that game taking place at Ellis Park. And thanks you, bro, says Roman. And also, what's the odds for this too, Hamish? So before the match, it was England $2.03 underdogs with Samoa $1.72. Now as we sit, it's actually, one moment, it's hiding. England versus Samoa. It's about to load. Rugby League. England are $1.80 and Samoa are $1.90. So extremely close throughout these two sides. And so D Samoa, 2 tries attempted, both fumbles it, says Nate. And let's go Toa Samoa. Now going off to the right-hand side for the Samoans here. Moving up to 50 metres out. Sua. The nice attack and carry forward. Now it will be Levi. Just running it sideways, gives it off to Josh Papali. Great tackle made low, gives it off to Junior Polo. Those two men probably weigh more than a whole forward pack in some regards. And that's going to be a little juggle. I believe England made the mistake there. Yes, it was Farnworth. Did have the knock on, so it will be the scrum feed for Toa Samoa. Go Samoa says it was Fa'avisi. And there as well. Hope you are doing very well, mate. Do let me know your score prediction. Plus, when I have bugs in my skin. Says, no, that sounds painful. So it's not a mosquito bite, I don't assume. The bed bugs? Maybe the only type of bugs that I know around there. Unless there's a stomach bug. Maybe you're going a little bit further in a regard. Hopefully you get better soon, Noah. And also we have Samoa lose. Do they get pushed into the Oz/New Zealand side of the draw in the playoffs? Says Hanoi. I believe there's a good chance. I know that Fiji versus Australia later on also determines a little bit. It should be an easy win for the Australians, but you just never know with Fiji. They went out and got themselves an update, or not an update, an upset. That would be massive in that game. Now Josh Papali'i tackled Samoa. Starting to find a little bit more of a stride when they get the attack going. That's another set of 6, and that's a silly one to give away for England because now Samoa only going to be sitting about 10 metres out from the line. Looks like it will be Danny Levi. It's decided that he's going to be the one. Plays half, gives it off to Josh Papali'i. Getting close. Nice tackle made by Tom Burgess, the big Englishman. 5 metres out. Samoa now. They get this going. Jerome Lloyd. This is exactly who they wanted to find. He does a bit of a step. He's dropped the ball. And that's the mistake from Lloyd. I think he was asking for them to go back for the initial penalty. Jerome Lloyd. He's got that one slightly wrong. Now, him and To'o in that back line are dangerous, but it just didn't quite work out. Goosebugs. Maybe. And also, Captain's Challenge. Okay, I was going to ask the question of whether or not we had the Captain's Challenge for these matches, and we do. So they're going to be going upstairs just to check on this one. Currently 15 minutes into this contest. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The next game we are covering of the Rugby League World Cup, it will be the matchup taking place between New Zealand and Lebanon. That is the Monday morning fixture. We will be covering that on the channel. So be sure to hit the subscribe buttons. Fa'amalosi, Toa Samoa, says Talvela there. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. Are the Burgess still playing Club League in Australia? I believe so. The last I heard, both Burgesses. Is it Tom and Matt? It's Matt Burgess? Who's Matt Burgess? If it's not Matt Burgess, there's another Matt Burgess that I either know or know of. I'm going to look up quickly Matt Burgers. Not Matt Burgers. I don't know what will come up for Matt Burgers. Burgess National Party? Is he a journalist? Okay, it's not Matt Burgess. Yeah, he's Matt Burgess. If you want to hear about climate action in New Zealand, apparently he's the guy. What's the other fella's name? Loose carry, unsuccessful challenge from Jerome Luai. And they have no red in their jumper this year. And also we have got there Serafina Gustbugs in there from Roman. Right, Samoa don't have any more challenges throughout the rest of this game. Something that will be very tricky for them to try and manage, I guess. England still have one up their sleeve that they will be able to use later on in the fixture. 15 minutes into the moment, it will be the scrum feed for England, sitting 10 metres out from their own line here. Okay. Coach looks a little bit disappointed with the fact that they did use up that challenge as early as they did. Now going back across to the short side. Nice attack and run from Makinson. It's going to be the penalty as well against Samoa. Offside? Is that what that one means? I haven't quite learned my rugby league signals yet. Obstruction, maybe. In England, too much outside stupid, says Faipopo or Faipopo. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also, come on, Toa, says Salafina there. Now England once again will have another attacking opportunity. There is a ball and a person on the field trying to get that ball. As it's been trying to run away. I think the referee was actually the person trying to get that ball. Got to run from Hill. Making a couple of extra meters there. 15 minutes in. This game's been a slow, methodical pace for both of these sides, but still some very big runs we have seen. Who do you go for? Says Melly in this game. I mean, I'm closer to Samoa in terms of location, of course, but England are the home favourites, but not favourites for this game. It's an interesting one. I went Samoa by 4-6, though, as my prediction for this game. 11 on up against the Kiwis. Kidding me? Says Spider-Meg. That is the first match that they have got. It's going to be an exciting one. Nice run from Williams once again. George Williams. Been looking very strong throughout the early stages of the match. 51 metres made. Now kicked him behind. Great take from Samoa. And it's going to be now Stephen Crichton getting the opportunity to stretch his legs. He's been taken down relatively early in a good tackle by Elliot Whitehead. But if he had had a little bit more acceleration straight away there, could have been a different story. And Samoa could have been in for their first. But now finding themselves on the halfway line. Josh Papali'i. Wrestled down by 3 English players. And Toa should have scored by now if they had to win, says Salafina. And that was almost their opportunity just then. I guess that mistake from Luai when he dropped the ball when they were only about 5 metres out, that was also a very good opportunity. Now Junior Polo. Samoa looking like they're starting to build a few more metres easier now. And also I should mention there was a Samoan player with some ice on the calf. I want to say it was Hamlin Uli, but I could be wrong there with who it was. But yeah, it does look like some sort of relatively serious calf injury, which is the last thing you want at the first game of a Rugby League World Cup. Of course, Samoa, they got plenty of depth. They will be able to fill that gap, but it's just not quite the same. Or a little bit of a structure maybe there. No, Tompkins is able to claim it nicely. And Luai has to make the tackle there on England's captain. Oh, we got a knee in the head as well for the process. He's not happy, Jerome Luai. Little bit of push and shove there between the two. Now, nice run forward from Dominic Young. 20 metres out from their own line here. There are a lot of trainers on the field at the moment, so I think maybe a little bit of an injury trouble for England in this situation as well. Currently still sitting inside of their own half. They're up to their third phase now. Another big attacking run from Mike McMeekin. That's the way around. Good shot in the ribs section for Samoa. And now fifth and final. Still making 54 metres. I don't believe they've had too many at all, that they haven't made those metres of 50 plus. Nice take there. Nicely gliding through the air was Tabai Fidel. Now taken down by Dom Young. 18 minutes in Luai. Samoa, they have been inside of their own half for a majority of this match, and they have just dropped the ball, or have they? Who put that one down? I believe it's become a penalty to Samoa, an illegal strip attempt from the English. Like they're saying, Samoa, they needed it. So Burgess has gone off the field for England, and that is for Lee. So I assume they're going to be using Burgess in short little spells to really make the most of his power and explosiveness, who's playing halfback for Samoa. So in this one, it is... Now, I feel like I'm going to get this one slightly wrong. Halfback, 7 or 9? Anthony Milford at 7, Danny Levi at number 9. I know it's one of the two, but I feel like if I commit to one, it will definitely be the other. I want to say it is Danny Levi, though. Or is it? No, it will be Anthony Milford, number 7. Final answer. As you can see, like I mentioned, still learning a little bit of the kind of rugby league positionings and everything along those lines. Tackle bust, we're seeing 9 from Samoa so far. Yet they have probably made less meters than we've seen from the English. Now, Junior Paulo trying to change that a little bit, though. And number 7 says Goro. So, yeah, Anthony Milford is the number 7 for this contest. Sorry about the confusion that I caused there. Speaking of the number 9 now, Danny Levi has another carry there. 15 out, 46 metres gain. Bit of a step there from Milford. Tried to get the grubber through. It doesn't work out, and now it's going to be the line break for England. Lai has been bumped off, but the ankles just weren't quite able to hold the excessive weight of Jack Welshby's muscles. So he's gone down, and it looks like his ankle might have gone down too. He's slowly getting back to his position. Now 30 metres out from their line. Like they're saying, it's a brilliant head-to-head matchup between these two sides so far. Great shot from Milford. Papali'i has been taken off for Samoa. That is for Tapa'o. Has made his way out onto the field. England, as soon as they start making those 50-metre gains, I think that's going to be the massive helper for Samoa. But until then, England are going to be able to keep on marching their way back up the field, putting the Samoans under pressure. It's going to be kicked in behind after 33 metres gained. And also, what Sky Sport is it on? For us in New Zealand, it's actually on Spark Sport. But I believe Sky Sports Pacific and Sky Sport UK are two options where you can watch the Rugby League World Cup. If you're in Australia, it's either Stan Sport or KO. And holy moly, says Mike. And there. Now, 30 metres out from the line. Samoa have this one. It's going to be Brian Toa. He's actually a long way off his wing at the moment. It seems like he's hunting for that ball, trying to get more involved early. Been working not too badly for Samoa. He's made a few metres each time. He has touched the ball. Moving up to the halfway line there. The skipper making the tackle for England. Now going off to the left-hand side. I heard a loudspeaker and I thought there was going to be a set reset. And I was going to say it's the perfect time for Samoa to get it, but it's now fifth and final. Samoa doing the basic complete sets. Keeping calm and holy moly, says Mike. And there as well. 34 metres gained. Kicked high from Milford, who takes a bit of a cheap shot from England. Nicely taken there, only a couple metres out from the line. Now Mackinson, he's very good at running it back. Luai gets the tackle around the chest area. Okay. They're saying that Radley might have hurt himself from trying to put pressure on Milford for the kick. And also Papua New Guinea flags from Lawrence. Of course, they are going to be playing a little bit later on in this World Cup. And hopefully we will be able to cover their game. I think their first opening match is up against the Cook Islands. Great line break there for England. And here they go. It's going to be the number 6. The man who I mentioned had muscles for days as Welshby has got the first try of this World Cup for England. And it was just a perfect link up between Williams and Welshby. They both got it right, breaking through the middle. And the try goes the way of the English in front of the home crowd. And also Samoa has been really good, has some really good NRL players. They can take these bombs. Come on, boys, says Mike. But Jack Welshby, the first try of the match and the first try of the 2021 Rugby League World Cup. That will one day be a trivia question, so don't forget that name, Jack Welshby. Nice flat ball from Tompkins. It was just a bit of poor defence from Samoa. Two players were both going to be making the tackle. They just let him bust straight through, and Williams, then once he had that space, there it is, great run, and Williams goes through, gives it off with the inside pass, and it is the try for England at the start. Can I have a little peep, Amish? See the try, says Spider-Big. Sadly, that would be all that YouTube need to be able to take us down. Unfortunately, great for the home crowd, says, and all yeah, will certainly excite the home fans. And damn, says Swerve, and Cook Island's heart, says Nell. And there as well. We're going to have a quick look and see exactly when those games are taking place as well. I know that the next game we are covering is going to be Munster versus the Bulls for the URC. At the same time, though, we'll be keeping you updated on Fiji versus Australia. That has taken place for the Rugby League World Cup. And tomorrow morning, we are going to be doing Lebanon when they are taking on New Zealand. And good try, let's go, says Swerve. Come on, Samoa, says Taluna there. And Bangladesh time in the evening, says Roman at the moment. So Bangladesh, I guess you guys are about 6 hours behind us, aren't we? Or aren't you? Somewhere around there. Now, Makinson going to be trying to make it 2 from 2, and he does. So England, they have now got themselves an 8-0 lead after 23 and a half minutes Australia to win. Says Jalal, they are coming in as heavy favourites to that game up against Fiji, and actually heavy favourites to win the whole Rugby League World Cup. That was a great short run there. We see it. Watkins, first of all, gets a bit of go forward. Then it was the pass from Tompkins. I'm not too sure who the players were that missed the tackle straight through, though. It was number 9, Levi, and also Tapa'au, who's only just made his way out onto the field. I'm from Australia, and home crowd loving it. Do you know, or do you know why it's not on Sky Sport? I believe it's down to Spark Sport purchasing the licensing, which I have mixed feelings about, because at the moment, Spark Sport seem to be getting all the big competitions, and then Sky are kind of left with, like, I guess what you could say is they're left with the rest. As money's so important, can't show us the game, says Spider-Man. Money has nothing to do with it, because pretty much if we get a copyright strike, we have 3 months that we're not actually allowed to live stream. So we'd live stream for free. No worries for 3 months. But unfortunately, with YouTube system, if you get a copyright strike, a legal one, which it would be, you can't actually live stream for the next 3 months. So we would have to take a 3-month hiatus from streaming, which would be quite unfortunate there, but it will be in the highlights straight after the match is done. But Sky did have for the Commonwealth. Yeah, so at the moment it seems to be Sky and Spark are jockeying for the licensing. I know that they've got the Women's World Cup on Spark. Nice ball now once again. Now down the wing. Great run from Young. And this could be another try. Great acceleration. It's another try for England. And another line break. This is where Samoa's structure looks like it's starting to go downhill. Beautiful try for the English. And the crowd are now once again cheering it. Bro, you say truth. And there says Roman, a nice try. England, says Nate. I'm watching on the BBC. Says Swerve. And there, and everyone in England will certainly be loving that try. It's the youngster Dominic Young was able to run it down the wing. First international try. Samoa overhyped, says QQQ. And also, wow, says Anoa. Yeah, I wasn't expecting another try straight away. It was actually almost the first phases since the try down the wing. And the space was just open up. Suali'i unable to get onto him. And New Zealand versus England final. New Zealand, says Cooper Cronk there. Is that for the Women's World Cup or the Rugby League World Cup? Because I guess in a way it could be both, depending on how the results do end up going. But yeah, the next game that we are covering, like I mentioned, it is New Zealand versus Lebanon. France versus Greece would be an interesting watch on the Tuesday morning. But I believe the next game after New Zealand-Lebanon will be Tonga versus Papua New Guinea. That has taken place on Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. Gee, now this is going, or not going well for Samoa. Says Salafina. Yeah, they just need to find themselves a little bit of extra meterage, I think, could be one of the big things for them, because we're seeing England consistently getting around that 50-metre mark, Samoa consistently around 35. And yes, 15 metres doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're consistently getting 15 metres, whoa, I'm see-through. When you're consistently getting 15 metres after 15 metres extra, you know, it only takes about 3 or 4 sets, and then you're actually on the goal line. Why am I so see-through? I wonder. I'm going to have to try and change that so that my arm is not... Oh, that's worse. We'll go about there. Okay, I got my arm back. And also Samoa is going to come back, says Jimmy there, and brilliant footy. And also Suali'i showing why Teddy is fullback for the Chooks, says Hanoi. And also next New Zealand win match. And there as well, but England currently with a 14-0 lead. The kick was successful. And now 14-0 after 26 minutes. Players are not connecting well, says Salafina. That's the thing. They've got a lot of Panthers in that back line, but it doesn't seem like currently that now is going to annoy me up in that top corner. We're going to have to move that a little bit as well. There we go. I'm not too see-through currently. I told you so, Samoa got hard out. I'll go hard out early and petrol empty, says Meek. Now back across England once again with possession. They've had approximately 60 to 65%, I'd say, of the possession throughout this matchup. Now another big carry. Time it was Matty Lees, who's only recently come off the interchange bench. Now 9 goes across. Nice ball to Mike Cooper, actually, another interchange player, and who's playing 6 for Samoa. It is Jerome Luai. We've only seen him a couple times in this matchup. First time he looked relatively dangerous, and then the second time he did end up dropping the ball only a few meters out. And do you have 2 green screens, says Hanoi? I just have the one, but I've actually changed the camera and the lighting for this live stream, which is why I'm a little bit too bright at times. Still have to adjust it, but yeah. I always say any money that we make from the channel goes straight back into the channel, and that is where this webcam and the lighting has actually come from for this Rugby League live stream. Give them time, mate. The game's just started. Go Toa Samoa, says that's exactly right. Game of 80 minutes. Junior Polo's just sat a man down and put him to bed almost. I think he was smiling there as he went to ground. Now Luai goes to the short side. This is it's not a good pass. Targo, unfortunately, wasn't expecting it with the offload from, it was Tualangi. Now England have got this ball back 40 metres out from the line. So like it was mentioned earlier on, they don't seem to quite be linking up at the moment. And English are humble, says E squared there, and also be another typical World Cup when you win for Australia again. Do you think that England have a good chance of winning this too, says QQQ. They've certainly got history on their side, although it's been a little while since we've seen the English pick up a Rugby World Cup, or Rugby League World Cup, sorry. Last one was the Australians. I believe they're going for their 12th title as well now, Australia. So they are definitely the team to beat. But England at home might be just enough to cause a bit of an upset. That's a brilliant run once again up to 4 phase, only 5 metres out from the line now for the English. Firing it back across. Now going with the short pass. Wellesby got confused. Decided he would instead go off to the short side where Tompkins is waiting. Still looking for the option for the pass. Doesn't find it yet. Now goes across, and it's going to be the tackle on McMeekin. And also something against Samoa, says Jimmy, and keep it up, bro, and go Samoa. Now out on the wing, it's another try. It was the skip pass. Dom Young gets his second international try, and he didn't have one up until this game. It's another try for England now, 18-0 in favour of the English. And also pray that Toa will come back strong in the second half. What about 7, says Jimmy? I assume that was for who's playing 7. It is Anthony Milford for this contest. The name of mum's Brit, says Mick. And also we have got there who, says Hanoi. Dom Young, though, second try of the match, the leading try scorer of the Rugby League World Cup now. And yes, sir, let's go. CS Swerve. But nice from England. Once again, it's just those little mistakes from the Samoans. That time it was Helma Tualangi. Gave the ball away. England had about 40 metres to work with, and they made the most of that opportunity. The 5th and final, they managed to get the cutout pass going straight into the hands of the youngster. Dom Young done very well to score, and also very nice there, bro. Says a Roman there, and yes, sir, let's go from Swerve. And they're right. This is going to be the hardest kick of the day now for the English kicker. And Tommy Mackinson, he's been able to get everything else up to this point. 30 minutes in, though, and England find themselves 3 converted tries up with a kick to come. It's going to be a tough comeback for the Samoans when they do try and make it. Samoa beating themselves with the mistakes, to be honest, says Swerve. Yeah, unfortunately, just those little handling errors, the bit of indecision in that backline as well has caused a lot of extra meters for the English. Right, Mackinson, can he get this kick over from near the touchline? He was actually banging them over in the practice just before the game pretty successfully. 3 from 3, just about ready to kick it. And also Bennett might sign Young to the Dolphins. Looks like a decent signing, to be fair, if he went with him, Dominic Young. As he seems like one of those guys that just knows how to cross the chalk. And English up, says E squared there. And also we have got too much for my weak heart, says Salafina. Right, the kick from the touchline for Mackinson. Just missing away to the left-hand side. So I jinxed him there by saying he was getting them over in the warm-up. Now, after 31 minutes, it's going to be 18-0 to England. Now, remembering that England came in as $2.05 underdogs for this matchup, we will have a quick look at the TAB. Now, I would say that Samoa will probably find themselves sitting about $10 underdogs at this current point in time. And this match, maybe a bit less, maybe like $6 or $8. Right, Samoa $8 for the odds. It makes me worry that I can almost get odds slightly right now. I feel like I look at them too often, but I don't actually do any betting. So it's one of those weird situations that you just kind of get used to seeing how much momentum shifts a game and how much that shifts the odds and the process as well. Oh, roly-poly. You know what? Maybe you do need to practice the roly-polies at school like we did so that you can play rugby league on the bigger stage. We've already seen 2 roly-polies throughout this game. Ball game, says Roman, and England will win, says Brian. There, I do see the Papua New Guinea flag there. Are you excited for their opening game when they do face off against the Tongans? What should be an awesome matchup there. Now back across. I'm just going to have a quick confirmation. Yeah, they do play Tonga. I just had to make sure for a second there. Another big run from Williams, making the meters for fun. Radley's gone off and Knowles has made his way out onto the field now. Fifth and final, 64 meters gained. England going for the little chipper behind. Nice take from Brian Toa. It's been wrestled down 7 meters out from his own line. Now Samoa back in position. They have played a majority of this half from inside of their own half. And they will be looking, try and get some big phases together now. I have a feeling like England will win this World Cup, says QQQ. Oh, so question. When was the last time England won themselves a Rugby League World Cup? I know that Australia had it in 2017. Who won it 2013? Was that also Australia? Or when did the Kiwis win it? The Kiwis had it at some point, didn't they? An easy yards by England, says Annoy, and poor Samoa, says Prodigy Sun there. And who do you think is the best chance of winning the World Cup? I think it's definitely Australia at the moment in terms of the betting odds and also with the squad that they've gone with. This is a great run from Suoli. He's just broken about 5 tackles. Oh, and then he's dropped the ball. He did all the hard work. He made the 50 meters or so just from running it hard, breaking through the tackles, and then the ball just juggled out of his hand. And also England will win it. Or sorry, Australia will win it, says Celafina. And settle down, Toa boys. Keep your eyes on the polo there, says Des. Oh, that's another set restart against the Samoans now. 33.5 minutes through, still 6.5 minutes left of this first half. Makinson runs a hard at Junior Paulo. And I haven't seen a massive amount of those big hits we were expecting from Samoa. I believe we've seen 2 from Anthony Milford. Other than that, no interception thrown. And Samoa, now they might be able to get themselves the first try of the game. Driving hard, it's Isaac Targo. And the mistake from England ends in a gifted try for the Samoans. Now, Isaac Targo hasn't completely recovered from when he did his forward roly-poly. He's holding his arm like this. Luckily, that was the arm that had the ball under it because the other arm was going flat out. But this arm just wasn't able to move at all. Hopefully, he's going to be all right. Australia won in 2019, says Jimmy. What about 2015? I realized I said the wrong year, didn't I, with 2013. Oh, no, sorry. They won in 2013 there. And last World Cup, they just have missed. Now England are lion hungry for consuming the Samoans. And this time, it was actually the mistake from England in that back line. They tried to go for the cutout pass. Was able to read it nicely there. That's the thing, though. If he didn't get that there, Isaac Targo, probably a try down the other end for England. So it's one of those risk and reward factors. The risk paid off for Samoa, for Targo rushing up, trying to get the turnover, and straight away you can see Callum Watkins was like, that was not a good pass. And these commentators are absolutely racist towards the Samoan pack, says DU there. As in the commentators at the game, or I hope not myself. I hope I haven't offended any Samoans throughout this. I don't thank you, Toa. Please, another one. And also, we have got there when I was only 6, I used to watch League on TV. Only 3 powerhouses, then Kiwis, Oz, and England. And stop it with the racist thing, please, says Celafina. And atrocious commentary and so much bias, says DU. Me or England's one? Do let me know. Any games tomorrow, says Jimmy. So the game that we are going to be covering tomorrow, there are a few other games earlier on, but we are going to be doing the matchup between Lebanon and also up against, they are playing New Zealand. So that will be an exciting game. So, and also the Kiwis, says Cooper Cronk. And in 1972 was the last time England win, and they were Great Britain. So, yeah, it's been quite some time. So a home competition might be massive for them. And also there's a good showing for the Super League over the NRL, says Hanoi. And there is, the Super League currently doing very nicely. St. Helens side to watch out for in that competition. And I believe we're seeing a game from the Leeds Rhinos home ground for the next matchup between Fiji and Australia. We kick downfield from the English, currently sitting 18 points to 6. A successful conversion for the Samoans. Now with 4 minutes left in the half, a good opportunity to try and get themselves just a little bit more of a chance of this game. Good run from Brian To'o and Kiwis and the Habibi for Lebanon, says Nate there. Now back across. Samoa, like they're saying, they seem to now find themselves a little bit more momentum, I guess you could say. Hey, you're not being racist, you're fine. You have said nothing offensive to us, Samoa, says Jimmy. So I assume it was talking about the actual English commentators. I'd hope that they weren't saying anything bad at the actual game. Definitely if they've been hired to do the commentary for the matchup. But I guess that's the thing. When you have got, commentators from a certain country and their country is playing, it's always going to be a little bit biased, which is why I enjoy watching these games from an unbiased point of view, because you never know what you're going to get type thing. Always open. Seeing some massive plays throughout them. England looking tired, says Nate. Kicked up high from Samoa. Now Milford chasing. Great take from Mackinson once again. Jason Glasgow are playing. Why waste your time on this dribble? Says, we are actually going to be keeping you updated with what is happening in that game as well, alongside this one. And come on, England. Let's not give them stumps up, says E Squared. And also, I should mention alongside that, we are actually going to be doing Munster versus the Bulls a little bit later on tonight. So we're still doing a bit of the URC. We did the game this morning that ended in a draw between the Stormers and Ospreys. Nice run forward from Makinson. He's made a lot of meters throughout this one. Now, 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Good low tackle made by Junior Polo. I leave that out. There's no reason here. You're done good, Amish, says Buttermeek there. Now, nice run. Inside ball. Oh, it was forward. Little mistake, because England were almost through again. Just seems to be those little moments, actually almost for both sides here. Either the full pass or the knock-ons. They will decide this game. We've still got another whole half of rugby to be left. That was a weird way of wording it, but left, I guess, is the better way of describing it. Now 2 minutes left. Samoa might have one more chance before we get to the end of the half. Right, they are actually saying there's been another sub. They're hoping that it's not going to be a broken limb. Nice one, boys. Keep them coming, says Tess. And there's now going off to the left-hand side. 38 minutes through. Beautiful offload to Jerome Loy, who was calling for it early, receives it, and then it's tackled by Watkins. Seems like there's a little bit of an extra spring in the step of the Samoan step at the moment, and now good tackle made on Milford. He's taken a boot to the face in the process as well. That's almost going to be 6 more, is it? No, it's going to be play on. Now Luai. We haven't seen him link up with Brian To'o yet in this contest. And great commentating, though, no video, says E Squared. Yeah, I wish we had some way of showing footage, but straight away YouTube take you down and get you pretty much for copyright. Now Polo, a little bit of a juggle there. Flick back to Junior Polo again. Tries to go for the big fend. Now Samoa going up the middle. Suali spins. Suali not able to stretch there. 5th and final now for Samoa, though, as they gained 60 meters. Can they get themselves a try? Where's the ball? Okay, it got tied up there. Okay, I believe it's just a warning for offside. And now they are once again back at first. The kick in behind. I don't think he realised it was the reset, although it might have been slammed down by Crichton. He doesn't look happy, though, Stephen Crichton. So I don't think this is going to be a try. He says no. And like I mentioned, I always look at them in the facial expression and go, right, is he happy? Is he sad? He was sad. He's dropped the ball. Best way of looking at it. I think I'm going to try and turn off the heat pump. But the thing is, there's a green screen in the way. That did not work. I just turned off the remote. Yeah, nailed it. You hear that little beep beep? It's the little things in life that excite you, isn't it? But they're just looking to see if the kick is all right. Anthony Milford, he did get it right. I don't know whether or not he realised it was actually the first, because if they just fired that out the back line, they could have easily found Brian To'o out on the wing. And why don't you just show some screen and cover half? Just a suggestion, says Jimmy. I think it's a risky game to play. Oh. Okay, Crichton scored that one about as much as we saw from in the first half. Well, it was the first half, actually. Who am I thinking of who scored almost for England? Tom Burgess, that's who almost had it. Oh, I think there's a thumb on that one, benefit of the doubt. I don't know. We've already seen one that didn't get called as a try earlier on from a little bit of the looseness of the ball. But yeah, pretty much if we show a little bit of footage, then everyone goes, oh, you're getting away with that. Why don't you add a couple more inches onto the screen? And then you eventually get drawn in to pretty much showing it. And then you end up and taken off YouTube. We've actually had copyright strikes before just with pretty much our title. Like in the past, competition has been like, you're going to show the game, even though the title was such and such competition, in brackets, not showing game. And they were like, you're going to show it, so we're going to take you down. And that took about 2 or 3 weeks to get sorted out. And too risky, you might get hit with a copyright strike. And that's a try. Come on, Samoa, says Taluna. Yeah, very close there. So I guess both sides with Burgess and Crichton both having one ruled out when they've only been a few meters out or a few inches of being able to hang on to it. But now this will be the last phase of the half for England. It looks like, yep, accepts that one, Sam Tompkins, and that is half time in the contest. Good half. 18 points to 6. I'm clapping, even though it's like 3:30 a.m. solid game, lads. Halftime hydrate. Here's Nathan. And there as well, where's your guitar, Hamish? Can you play the Deliverance sound? I don't have it next to me anymore. I have been tidying up, so it's actually behind me around the green screen as well. So it might be a little bit out of reach, but we will get some stats for that first half for everyone who is in attendance. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It's hugely appreciated. You guys will be in here throughout these live streams, and we have got plenty more coming for the League World Cup. So 56% in favour of England for the possession. Time in possession, 14 minutes compared to the 11 that we have seen from Toa Samoa. The completion rate actually relatively high for both of these sides, 85%, 18 of 21 for the English, the home side, and then for Samoa, they have had 82% of their completions, and that is 14 of 17. So just those little handling errors, though, has been costing both of these sides every once in a while, something they will want to improve on in the second half. Post-contact meters is huge in favour of England, 315 compared to the 199 we have seen a Samoa normally. It is around the other way, but Tommy Mackinson, he'll be relatively happy with how that first half went for for England. They'll have those, I guess, little moments that they look at in the changing room of what they want to try and change, and they will want to try and find that extra pressure to put back on the big Pacific Islanders. But the running meters, 1,161 for England compared to the 832 of the Samoans. Oh, we're 1 meter short of 2,000 running meters throughout this first half. 1,990. Oh, no, I did the maths wrong. It's 993. We're actually 7 meters short of there. And also, do you get the same halftime pedal show in New Zealand as Oz says? Annoyed, that depends. Has it started? Because if it has, then no. Because we're currently just got the shot of the field and all the groundskeepers just trying to make sure that the field's relatively flat. And Samoa meow meow, says Prodigy Sutton. Also, England is doing everything right. Samoa needs to communicate and play accordingly to their game plan, says Salafina. Yeah, in that first 20 minutes or so, it didn't seem like Samoa really had a plan going forward. Whereas after they kind of had those nerves settled, they started finding a bit more of those offloading, I guess, success, but it's a tricky one. Okay, there's actually completely different stats on the screen than what we have seen on my statistics one, which is interesting. But the tackles, we've seen 176 from Samoa throughout this matchup. The tackle breaks, 27 tackles broken for the Samoans and 165 tackles made by England, so relatively even there. Average meters gained is actually very even as well with 8. Meow, meow, meow. This is cute. And also can't wait for Tonga, the big brother of Samoa, says Prodigy Sun, and they are going to be taking on the Papua New Guineans. It's going to be an awesome matchup, and we will be covering that one on Wednesday morning on the channel. So be sure to check that out. They will be at a slightly different time. They'll be in 4 hours time, and then also the 24 hours, 48 hours, whenever the game has taken place as well. It will be the 7:30 a.m. kickoff New Zealand time, which I believe is relatively close to that in Fiji and Samoa currently. Big brother, says Salafina. And Samoa little brother, says Prodigy Son. Yeah, I think in that first half, if we had to highlight a couple of players who really stood above the rest, first of all, Tommy Mackinson, the way he was running the ball back, anytime they had a little bit of an opportunity to make those meters, he was certainly doing so. Also, George Williams and Jack Welshby working well together And that actually set up one of the tries for the English. Also out on the wing, Dom Young getting himself a couple. Watch Tonga lose to Papua New Guinea, says James Saunders there. And also Samoa little brother, Tonga big brother. And I thought Samoa only played the 7th test, but I mean, no, they have got a Samoan side in the Rugby League and also actually up-and-coming Rugby Union side in the last little while. I believe they won themselves the Pacific Nations Cup, which is one that was contested between Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, and Australia A. Same Australia A side almost that did have 50 points put on them by Japan in the most recent game. Is it Tonga versus Papua New Guinea, says Silafina? It is indeed. So that is going to be on Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. New Zealand time. We will be covering that one on the Kiwi Lads channel as well. And then the Monday night game that we are covering, or the Monday morning game, I should say, for us here in New Zealand. It is going to be New Zealand versus Lebanon. I may even be able to get a guest for that live stream if I'm lucky. When it comes to heart, Tonga does it best, says Prodigy Sun. And then, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Papua New Guinea, they've got a couple good players in that lineup, but I think one of those sayings you always hear is a couple good players doesn't make a good side. Samoa, they have got a world-class backline at the moment, but when it doesn't quite link up, it just doesn't quite hit the same as a backline who have that chemistry. And England at the moment, I would say they've found that chemistry pretty quickly. A lot of these guys playing in the same competition. You see there, the try being scored by Isaac Targo. Now his shoulder didn't look too flashy. He was still holding it down, and Hart don't win World Cup, Zeus, says James there. And also what's going on here, says QQQ. And there is that for the halftime break, or the fact that they still say it's in the first half. Hang on, there we go. Has updated Samoa. I have no heart today, says Prodigy Sun. Although the first time that we really saw, I guess, a little bit more aggression and also a bit more spring in the step of Samoa was after they got themselves that first try. Next game of this group is going to be France versus Greece. I believe that has taken place on Tuesday morning. And come on, the Brits, make mum happy and describe first game or first half game in one word. Oh, one word. Ooh. Okay, one word to describe a first half of a Rugby League World Cup. The first word that comes to my mind, of course, is exciting, but I feel like you want a little bit more of a describing word than that. I would say, what's a good one word's tough. I was going to say handling, because we're seeing some good plays, but also the handling errors have been creeping in. Nervousness. One word's very tricky, isn't it? And why are we talking about Tonga when England and Samoa are playing, says Celafina? And then underwhelming. Oh, okay. Okay. A little bit different to my exciting, isn't it? And also the halftime show here is Ennis and Greg Inglis. Okay, so we have definitely not got that. We've got an ad for a lawnmower at the moment, I think. Well, they are actually showing the World Cup, the big one. They actually had to hold it for a long time at the start. So whoever was holding on to that, I believe they had a couple of ex-players there. They will certainly have strong arms for being able to hold it for as long as they did. And because Samoa and Tonga are better, one little and big brother, says Prodigy Sun. Although you could say they're twins. Who knows? Maybe they were born at the same time. Although twins aren't, or it depends, aren't they? They aren't quite born at the same time. My mum's a twin, fun fact. And my granddad's a twin, actually, her dad. So don't know what that means for me in the future. Amish, can I promote something? That depends on what it is, because we have had some interesting things promoted in the chat in the last 12 months or so. Some people have been promoting all sorts of dodgy links, so depends. And also watch on Sports South Africa or SASA channel, says Lee there. And also we have got the F Samoa, says, VXVX. So I believe that is 50, isn't it? 50... Actually, 64. Is that 64? Have I got the right thing there? Or is L500 and V? Wait, V's only 5. Now I think about it. So it's 5 before. You might just have to tell me what number that is, maybe. Because I feel like my Roman numerals aren't quite as good as they used to be. I thought Samoa and Tonga are a different country. They are. But they both really bring that same physicality into a Rugby League World Cup. I'm not lying. Samoa looks slow and tired. I don't know why. I hope they come strong second. I want Samoa to win, says Prodigy Sun. And if they aren't able to get themselves a win, at least to get a little bit close. And there is a live on TikTok streaming the whole game, but no commentary, says Jimmy there. I didn't even know TikTok had live streaming. I haven't been on TikTok, I don't think, since it actually came out. I know one of the other Kiwi lads, George, uses it a bit. He looks at tractors and also pretty much just tractors, to be fair. He likes tractors. He's a farm boy. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity for him to watch some of them. From the island of Bana, says Q. Now, is that just Banner? And is your name actually just Q? And maybe you just lengthen it a little bit. And Samoa and Tonga are brothers, says Prodigy Sun. But looking through at the Samoan lineup, for a player who I feel did have a successful first half, ooh, I mean, Junior Polo was solid enough. And then alongside that, you probably go with maybe Anthony Milford. Hardly saw Stephen Crichton, which is a little bit disappointing. And also saw Lee, he had his moments, but he also had some rough defence at times. But I'll still say that he was an honourable mention for them. And Samoa, little brother, Tonga's the big bro. And if it's better if England win, as my team are all Aussies, says Annoy. And I got Kiwis to take out the cup, bro. Who you predicting, says James. So for me, see, the fact that I'm from New Zealand, I should agree with you. I'm still in the mindset of Australia are going to be hard to beat in this competition. They're defending champs. They've got a good side at the moment. So I'm going to say Australia, but I'd love to see New Zealand take it out. It's just going to be very difficult to do. And they have to make sure that they get themselves a big win over Lebanon in their first match watching for Papua New Guinea. Thanks for sharing, says Nelson. No worries at all. And we are going to be doing Papua New Guinea's game that is taking place on Wednesday morning. So yeah, be sure to check that out as well. They are going to be playing Tonga. It's going to be a tough one. And good job, sir. If only I could see what you're seeing, especially now Samoa is going to come back better and stronger, says Tess. And there is, yeah, hopefully we do see a bit of a comeback spirit from the Samoans in the second half. They're all carrots. They're all carrots? Interesting. I know that carrots are very good for seeing in the dark, but I'm not sure. I don't see the analogy of where it ties in. And Prodigy, are they born and raised in Oz, and give it up, boys. You can do it. We're proud of you guys, says Avisi there. And who do you think is going to win, Aussies or the Fijians? I believe Australia are going to be able to get themselves the win. I hope Fiji turn up. They were missing a few of their players in their opening game for the warm-ups, but this Australia side, I'm actually going to have a quick look. Yeah, Fiji are $19 underdogs, and Australia are expected to win it by about 40 points. So if Fiji even get within 20, I feel like that is going to be pretty massive for those. No doubt Aussie are the favourites. As a fellow Kiwi, it's hard to root for the Aussies, even though I live in Sydney, says James there. There's that Trans-Tasman rivalry, isn't there? If that somehow became the final, which I don't know if it can be, I think at the moment, the way that the draw's set out, there's a chance we may see New Zealand versus Australia in a semi-final, which is pretty massive. And bro, Papua New Guinea will win game against the Tongans, says Nelson. Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to have a look through and see what the odds are. Okay, so for that game, Tonga are $1.03 favourites and Papua New Guinea $11 underdogs. But Papua New Guinea, a very solid league side. I feel like as soon as they underestimate them, that is when the trouble can start to go. And do you know I Show Speed? I do. Saw that he took part in the Sidemen charity match not too long ago. A little bit of a, I guess you could say, energetic fellow. Best way of describing him. And Samoa's mum, Dad Samoan, you crazy, just shut up, says Prodigy Son. Oh, question. So if Samoa is the mum and the dad, and dad is Samoan as well. So they're both Samoan parents. So the child, I assume, is Samoan as well. I was going to say, because I thought you said the dad was Tongan, the mother was Samoan. So I was going to say, what is the child? And I was wondering whether you were going to say a different Pacific island in there. Where's Joseph Suali'i? He has been out there a little bit. He hasn't had the biggest half. He had a good run where he drove forward about 40 metres, but then just dropped the ball. The draw is rigged. Guarantee England make the final, says Lee Marsh there. And Kiwi and the Brit clash. I'm confused which side to support. Dad's Kiwis, mum's Brit. I reckon Tonga can beat Papua New Guinea, says Alex. Yeah, they are the favourites in that one. I see that France are also favourites to beat Greece. New Zealand are heavy favourites to beat Lebanon. That's a little bit of extra pressure. Lebanon aren't too bad at times, are they? And the way it's set out, they're playing the semis, unfortunately, says James. And also had a max run, then threw the ball at the ground as if he was playing gridiron. It's a good way of describing it. He broke like 4 or 5 tackles. And then it just, down it goes, touchdown, not quite, knock on. And then the scrum went the way of the English. Jason Tamalolo is banned for 3 games. That dumb, says Alex Boy. Yeah, 3 games is pretty much your group stage, unfortunately. And bro, just looking at Papua New Guinea, backline Papua New Guinea will win, says Nelson. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. We will be live on the channel on Wednesday morning. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for plenty more rugby league in the future. We have been doing the rugby league over on our Kiwi Lads Sport channel just to try and avoid the copyright side of things. But because it's not the NRL who are doing this competition, it seemed a little bit safer to be able to do it on the main channel rather than the other one. What did Jason do to get banned? I assume it was probably something to do with a high tackle, was it? And Joseph Suali'i on the field playing in you, says Salafina there. And Cheika will want another underdog win versus New Zealand. Samoa win. I promise you Samoa is too good. Not playing good today. I don't know why, says Pro-G. And what happened with the no try? So there's been one for both sides. Burgess and also it was Stephen Crichton, both getting extremely close to getting that ball down. But they said that for both of them, the finger just slipped off the ball before they were able to get it down. That is a good kick downfield from Samoa to get us underway for the second half. And Tuolangi makes the tackle on the English winger. Now, be only a few metres out from the line this time. Callum Watkins tries to hit it up. We stream the Fiji versus Aussie game, says Manjosh. At this stage, we are going to be doing the Bulls versus Munster for the URC, but we will be keeping you guys updated almost with a play-by-play of what is happening in Fiji versus Australia as well. We'll keep you updated with the score just because of the overlap that we have got and the prior commitments to the URC. So we will be keeping you updated with what's going on in that game. It is just going to be with some Munster versus Bulls commentary for the Union as well. By looking at the scoreline, I think Samoa can win the game, says Nelson there. As long as they get themselves a try relatively early on in the second half, they certainly have the time to get it going in the second half. But now Suali'i takes it nicely right. Can he hang on to the ball? It's a big bump off. He's a dangerous player. Tompkins looks a little bit confused at what happened there. Ran straight over the top by his opposite number. Now going the short side, Brian Toa. Good low tackle made on him. Samoa not gelling yet. Watch them bounce back. Go Toa, says it was Tangata. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And I do see that Tongan League logo. And they're Tonga playing on Wednesday up against Papua New Guinea. What is your prediction for that game? Do let me know. And this game is winnable for Samoa. They just need to hold on the ball, stop throwing silly offloads. Exactly right. They've started making a lot more meters. Maybe the field's just a little bit downhill. So it seems like anyone who's going from left to right is making a huge amount of meters compared to the other side. Yes, we're only a minute and a half into this game, or the second half, I should say there. Nice run from, it was Powell, I believe that one was. Yes, it was. Now the quick hands. Good acceleration from Samoa. Fifth and final. Couldn't find the offload, and it will be the handover. England now will have themselves the ball. Tonga by 40 easy. And there, says James, a powerful at a strong team, but England is so powerful, says Alex Boy. And both of these sides, it's always an awesome matchup, just with the stylistically broken down statistics, if that makes sense. That was a weird way of wording it. Pretty much, I like when they play. Easier way of putting it. But now, nice run forward from Williams there. George Williams playing half this contest. Now, Tompkins does slot himself in to the half roll. Good attack and run from Farnworth. Almost had a try earlier on in the contest. Now, good run from Makinson. Junior Paulo and Jerome Luai make the tackle there. England sitting 40 metres out from their own line up to the fourth phase here once they do end up going down. But it was a good attack and run from Minkin. 46 metres through for that set. And it's going to be kicked downfield. Nice take from Samoa. Now another opportunity. What a shot that is, though. Brilliant hit from Morgan Knowles. Knocks him back down. Was that tackle on Isaac Targo. Now, if his arm was sore before that, his arm's going to be even sore now, praying for the comeback by Toa Samoa, says Salafina. Now back across. Will be Brian To'o. Gives it off to Crichton. Almost had himself a try earlier on in this match as well. Back to the right-hand side. Paolo. Nice carry forward. Finds the offload there. Now keeps it alive. Levi just scragged down by his collar. I believe that was the big tackle made by Mike Cooper. Now 40 metres out from the line here, Samoa. They've got one more phase here. Luai goes on the outside. Tackle made there by Callum Watkins. I think there's a knee injury though for Samoa. This does not look too good. He's actually lost the ball in the process, but he has done a ligament maybe in that knee. Samoa needs backs to the right in the middle of the field. Need more field area. Says Nelson, if Samoa loses, well, unlucky use. Says it was Alex Boy and smashed him, bro. Says Q, yeah, it was a good shot Now it looks like there's an injury here. Okay. They're saying he's hurt his hip. I think it was the knee, though. The way that May bent was not a way that you want to, Tyrone May. Oh, yeah, no, you feel that. You'd feel that one quite badly, I would think. He's kind of twisted the knee. By the looks of it, an ouch, says Hanoi. Hopefully he's all right. We've already seen, I believe, 2 Samoan players go off with injuries. Now, Callum Watkins was the player who put in the big hit there. And also, look, if you go hard early, say 20, 30 minutes, nothing left for the next 50 or so, says Spider Meek. Although I think Samoa, once they start finding a little bit more momentum here, they might still have a little bit of something left in the gas tank. This does not look good, though, for Tyrone May. Okay. I think they've just said that they're apologising for the disrupted tournament welcome because they did stand with the trophy. Like, the two of them were holding it. They were going, yep. A smile with it, holding the trophy. When are we going out on the field? Not yet. Okay, let's still. And they sat there for like a solid 2 or 3 minutes. It was quite impressive. Like, surely a bicep by about 2 minutes in holding a big cup's just gone, we're going to walk out anytime soon. Still injured, still down at the moment for Tyrone May. Looks like that knee's not moving too much. And it doesn't even look like he wants to bend it, which is normally a sign that he's either done something to... I really hope it's not something to do with like an MCL or something, because that's not just going to be out for this game. That's going to be out for this season. Now running the stretcher out for the Samoans. I assume they're going to take him off on that far side of the field just to speed up the process rather than having to walk straight across all the players. But they will be taking every precaution that they need to make sure that he is going to be all right. Currently 44 minutes through, still another 36 minutes left. I hope it's not too serious. And don't they have Medicabs there? Doesn't look like it. Unless, of course, they ran it out so that they can start preparing it, and then the Medicab might make its way out onto the field a little bit later on. I just showing Dom Young, the way he was flying down the wing was a thing of beauty. Cut back on the inside to get himself his first try at international level. And then about 2 minutes later, he got a second try at international level. And that was a bit of a momentum shifter for the English in this contest. But Samoa, they were able to fight back, get themselves that late try scored by Isaac Targo. Right. Dom Young in this matchup. He's at 133 metres carried in the 9 carries that he's had. But yeah, just a little bit of a stoppage here, ladies and gentlemen. While they do get the player off the field, they want to make sure that they don't aggravate that injury anymore. It's going to be hard to move him, to be fair. I think they're still trying to work out how to tip him onto the board. Everyone's looking around. They're all looking on going, he needs to be on that. But how do we get him on that? That's the question. They look like they want to try and tip him over, but your knee injury is certainly one that you don't want to risk. I think the Samoan coach straight away is going, we're running a little bit low on players already. We're only in match 1, but the next match for the Samoans, it is going to be up against. They have actually got Greece in their next game. That will be a Monday morning game at 5 a.m. And then also for the next game for England, they will be playing France. That is at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. Who's hurt? So it is the number 14, Tyrone May for Samoa. Right, the way that he gets twisted here. I think his knee and also the leg just ends up getting slightly stuck in the turf. And it's one of those ones that it looks like an awkward angle at the start. But, like, I guess to the untrained eye, it looks like, oh, it might have hurt his knee a little bit. But I think there's probably some serious damage there with the way that he twisted, with the fact that the ankle kind of got stuck in the turf as well from the sprigs. He is now on the board, though. And it looks like they are about to try and carry him off. Please, please, please do not drop him. Okay. They're already 3, 2, 1. We're going up. No, we're not. Okay. Looks like everyone has got their hands on. And he's getting an applause. Hopefully he's going to be all right. And Wolf been missing, says Hanoi. And also Medic says Spider. And also Milford and Luai just need to keep sparking something to lift the team's spirit. And also Panthers boy GG says DZ there. So yeah, he is going to be going off the field. Leniu makes his way out there. They'll just get better from here, says Tangata. And that's the thing. I was talking about it before the game. Did Samoa have a warm-up matchup? Do let me know, because I know that we did see the warm-up for England. They were able to beat Fiji 50-0. But did Samoa also get themselves a warm-up game? I couldn't see it on my records. But, yeah, I could be wrong there. I'm just looking through. And I'm seeing Tonga had a warm-up against France, where they won quite nicely. Lebanon played Wales. Scotland played the England Knights. Jamaica played. England played. Fiji played. New Zealand played up against the Leeds Rhinos. But I don't see a warm-up game for Samoa unless they played someone else. And screen cut out from England. Musk pulled his satellite, says Annoy. Yeah, it's currently frozen for us here in New Zealand as well. Hopefully it does come back relatively soon. But yeah, the injury did mean now that it is with England in their hands, but that was because of the knock-on as well in the process, not just because he got injured in this one. But 44 minutes through, I think the subs are going to be so important for these two sides when they do decide to unleash them. I have to say, out of the two sides for the benches, probably seen more impact from England. We've seen a big shot from Morgan Knowles. Maddie Lees hasn't been too bad, and Mike Cooper also getting involved every once in a while throughout this matchup. But we have seen 3 tries from England, 2 of which coming from Dominic Young, who before this match hadn't scored at international level. And then the other try was scored it was up the middle for Jack Welshby. Then for the Samoans, we've just seen the 1 try. It was scored by Isaac Targo, who is supporting a little bit of a shoulder injury at the moment. So hopefully he is going to be all right to continue in the near future. I wonder if the coverage is frozen everywhere and not just for New Zealand and England at the moment. We are going to go back and we're going to see whether or not we can get this coverage back for the matchup. Currently, the Sharks are playing Glasgow, and anyone from Sydney in the chat? Who knows? Maybe. I guess at the moment in Sydney, you guys are sitting 1:58 a.m., I believe, if I'm not wrong, although I might be wrong with that statement. And cut off in Wales, says Ollie. Okay, so the coverage has gone everywhere. Oh, so coverage is cooked. Says James, it's good in the UK, says Swerve. You're going to have to tell us what's happening, mate. So at the moment, it is frozen pretty much everywhere else. It's frozen, says Repent in there as well. But yeah, I guess we can make it up as we go. I could just tell you a whole heap of lies, but I don't think I'm very good at lying, so that would be tricky. But for this matchup so far, we've seen very good play from England. It seems like Samoa in the second half, though, have been able to make more meters than they were in the first each time that they have a set. Although with that injury of Tyrone May, hopefully he's going to be all right. It's got here in Fiji too, says Man Josh. Imagine that, the first game of a Rugby League World Cup, and they just lost the coverage. And James has said Samoa just scored 4 times in 4 minutes. We better get compensation for this, says Makiroa. Yeah, seems poor that it's the first game of a World Cup. Hopefully it's the last time we see any technical difficulties. They're just getting them out of the way early, I guess. But it's been frozen for a good 2 minutes at the moment. Although I've still got the scoreboard, it's still updating. And as soon as there's a try, it will let us know on that scoreboard. Mainly because, yeah, we have got it running smoothly. It just came back on, says Man Josh. So I assume now I've probably got another 10 seconds or so, and then it will be back. And I'll be back live. Yeah, almost. By the sounds of it, Bloody Spark is pissing me off, says Loki. Although I believe it's everywhere that they've had it. We should start getting interest, says Ollie. And also, we have got England sucks, says Natasha in the chat as well. Currently ticking over to 4 a.m. here in New Zealand. Decent time indeed. But I believe we've had a fluctuation of viewers, mainly because it has been frozen around the world. So welcome everyone who is waiting for it to stop freezing. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been enjoying the game so far. At the moment, it's still very frozen for us also. So we don't really know whereabouts they are on the field. We do know that England, at the time of freezing, they were about 15 metres out from their line with the scrum feet. England just scored, and we didn't get to see it. Right, we're going to have to find out who scored the try there for England. It's a secret one. And also, no mind showing the All Blacks versus Wallabies, says Makara, and it's cut off again, says Manjosh. And also, we have got there, Stupid Spark, I want my money back. Luckily, they do have that 7-day free trial, but it is a try for England by the sounds of it. And not surprised England's plan was to burn them with speed, says Tangata. So now we just have to wait to see the update. I don't actually think they're going to update on the app that I use either, and winter is coming, and it must be bad if they're showing the old Josh Manshaw interview, says Hanoi there. And sorry, boys, I dozed off. How are we doing? Come on, Samoa, let's get cracking, says Des. So there has just been this try scored by England, and just a little bit of a mistake from the Samoans. I would assume they did have to go quite far up the field, but with it being frozen, it's quite hard to tell. Right, it was the try scored by Callum Watkins. I can tell you that much. Was the number 3 who was able to get himself the try. We will get to see a try replay at some stage relatively soon, hopefully. And come on, ref, says Del Valle and come on, England. Get the S together, mate. Broadcasting is shocking. Yes, England with the try and absolutely brilliant, says Swerve there. And I'm going to sue Spark. I'm losing my cool, says Low Key. Nope, it's gone again, says Ollie in there. And saying, bro, my one is frozen, says Summer. And was it a free try? Oh, well, I just got jump scared. Someone decided to turn my volume up to 150. But yeah, it was nice work. They did go to the right-hand side. I'm just trying to get my heart to go back down. But yeah, Watkins went through the gap. Go Toa Samoa, says Del Valle there. And Watkins scored the try, says Manjoshi certainly did. Mind you, the weather isn't great here in the UK. Very windy, and Foxdale was also frozen, says Nate there. Yeah, currently frozen all around, but it is the try, and it was converted by England as well. So now they find themselves sitting 24 points to 6 up. In fact, no, the try might not have been converted. Not too sure for this one, but what a nice try from Watkins, who turned your volume up. I believe it's because I refreshed. So because I refreshed, the volume went back up to what it was on beforehand. Spark is rubbish, says Ronan. Although I don't think it's just Spark Sport. I think it's everywhere. Although Spark do have that little bit of a delay compared to other coverage. England, they do get the conversion. 24 points to 6 now in favour of the home side. We will hopefully get back to the commentary in a very short moment. Call sub-0 to unfreeze it. And what happens, Samoa, says Alex Boy. And also the thing is, Samoa has a powerful and good team. The coach is just BS, says Ray J. Yeah, their backline is phenomenal. In terms of the amount of skill and talent that they've got in that side, you would think they'll be able to gel straight away, but it seems like it's just ended up missing a little bit. And how do you watch the game, bro? So I'm watching it on Spark Sport, although I'm currently not watching it right at this moment because it has gone back to being frozen. I'm calling Fox right now, bro, says Lalavai. And the worst thing is for like the ones in New Zealand and Australia, they're going to be hating this because they're going to be getting phone calls from pretty much anyone watching the game. And they're going to be like, it's currently 4 a.m. We don't know how to fix it. England aren't giving us the coverage. And so I'm rising here in Samoa. I'm interested to know what the highlights are going to look like for that try because we haven't seen it yet. We've seen that the step was taking place from the English, which didn't go too badly overall, and also 24-6. What a hats. Okay, sorry for the disruption. We are working to resolve the issue and get you streaming again, is what we've just seen. 300 viewers, says Ollie. Yeah, I feel bad that this is the time that we've been able to fluctuate viewers, is because no one's been able to watch it because the game's frozen for everyone. So I do apologize if you have tuned in here hoping to see the game. Sadly, everywhere is frozen by the sounds of it, other than at the game. So I guess, yeah, it might be over by the time we get to England, though, for that one. What do you think about the problems the Fiji Bati team need to work on? Or what do you think of the problems? I think it's just getting more experience, really. And also finding, I guess, that's the thing. Defensively, it has been a little bit rough for them. And Nettie said what happened. Pretty much the coverage has dropped for pretty much everywhere around the world at the moment. And, well, is it really frozen for y'all, says Swerve? It is indeed. You might have to let us know what's happening in the game at the moment, Swerve. Sky Sport needs to take back the rights to broadcasting all international league games, says Low Key there. And also, game needs to be replayed because not enough support, says Ripin. And it's 8:05 a.m. here in California. Or is that a.m. or p.m.? I believe that would be a.m., isn't it? If I'm not wrong, Samoa number 7. And the coach needs to go. So you are saying about Anthony Milford as a player who they do need to get rid of. And England are the kings of hip drop tackles, says Ronan. And everyone doubted England, says Makaroa. And there is there's still a little bit of time left on the clock, although a nice lead here for England. I don't think so, because I've been following the team till this match, says Salafina. And also Saturday morning, says for Amisiona. Hopefully I've said that correctly for the pronunciation. But yeah, anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is still frozen. So it's unfortunate that we aren't able to actually see this game, but we'll try and keep you updated. Anytime the scoreboard updates, we're going to tell you exactly who was able to score the try. The last one was Callum Watkins. We are still yet to see the replay. We're back on, says Nate. Okay, so because Spark Sports a little bit slow, means we've probably got another 20 seconds or so, and then we will be able to see it. Spark Sports is so useless, says your dad's gal. Although by the sounds of it, it's down everywhere. I should have left it to Sky Sports, says your dad's gal. And any refunds from Spark Sports, I doubt they would be offering refunds at the stage, unfortunately, although some people may want their money back for it and back. And Spark Sus, and it's a sign we can't see Samoa's going to lose, says, like, yeah, it's back in there as well. And where all my Samoans at, says Alex Boy. Right, so the game is just about to get back underway. The thing is, you guys all say that it's back because Sparks Boy has that 30-second delay over pretty much any other coverage. We're getting closer for us being able to watch it too. I bet Tonga are laughing at Samoa, says low-key, and back on and Oz, says Annoy, and here says Summer, and there as well. Right, we're going to try refreshing the page again. We're going to get the eardrums blasted. We're going to go down a little bit, and hopefully, no, they still don't quite have it back on Spark Sport. So it's getting closer, though. I would like to think they wouldn't have too much longer. Definitely if they've got it back in different places too much. Cocky on TikTok. And there as well, says Alex Boy, and it's back with who? Says Man Josh. And do you stream the NRL too, bro? Says Ron. We have done a little bit of the NRL in the past. That is actually, well, it has been on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, our second channel, just try and avoid the copyright side of things. I do want to do a lot more rugby league in the future. I feel like we've tried to do a few games. We've missed quite a few as well, though, but I would love to be able. Oh, we're back. Okay, and Josh Papali'i having a bit of a push and a shove with Tompkins. So we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for this game, and there is a whistle being blown because looks like it's starting to get a little bit argy-bargy out there on the park. And so much for a strong side, says Adele there. And also, no, we won't be laughing. We'll be proud that our boys tried their hardest out there. Much love to my Samoan brothers and sisters. And there as well, says Mo. And also, we have got how long before we're back on the road? We are back on the road now. I just hope that it lasts. Oh, the players are still in each other's faces. I think Tompkins not too happy with Josh Papali'i there. Yeah, it's great to see that it's back underway. So anyone who is watching this around the world and you have got somewhere that you are watching it with a provider, you should be all good to go now, hopefully. Argy Bargy says, these nuts. Knows like, come on, Sparks. This is not good enough, says Spider Mech. And there as well. But currently 56 minutes through this contest. Still another 24. So what's the score, please? It is sitting 24 points to 6. So England being able to score the last try with Callum Watkins. And just goes for Samoa, bringing Brian in there. Fa'ama Siona. Is that Brian Lima, the chiropractor that you are talking about? Because I know he's doing wonders for the 7 side. Maybe could be on his way to league as well. It would be pretty awesome to see him in any coaching role for the Samoans. Australia to win. And Samoa has a good line, but stink coach, says Nux there. And also, well done, Samoa. Keep it up, says Alice Boy. And 24-24, says Adrian Truth. And they're about to fight, says Swerve. Yeah, and the tensions are starting to build out there. I think that's the frustration from Samoa coming out. They just haven't quite been able to have the momentum thereafter. But 15 metres out from the line now. They are going to the right. Nice run. And Suali'i gets close. 5 metres out from the line now. Samoa still plenty of time left on the clock. If they get themselves a try now, could be extremely dangerous. Now back to Milford. Luai goes into the midfield. It's going to be Tapau. Moves up to 10 metres out. Still staying on his feet. Going to be back on when the game is finished. Spark saving us all Samoans from smashing our TV, says Samoa Gill. Now a couple metres out. Still Samoa's chance. They're up to third. Nice step and great run forward. I believe it was Lenny who gets close. They just need that last final run and final line break to get themselves over the line. Levi, did he have his hand slapped down? It's going to be penalty to Samoa, 5 metres out. England offside, says Chris Seo. And also we have got the let's go Oos, says Nate. And Samoa should be winning by now, says Sony Jokes. And do you play Among Us? I haven't actually ever played Among Us, believe it or not. It's one of those games that I think you need friends for, which I always struggle with. No, it's more of the case of, I don't know, I never really jumped on the trend. But that one will definitely win the fight, says like, yeah, that's probably a guarantee. This stage, although there's some big boys in the English lineup, but then there are some Samoans in the Samoan lineup, and normally Samoans, they know how to fight pretty well. Brian To'o trying to fight for every metre he can get here, trying to step through. He's been very quiet throughout this game, Brian To'o. I don't think they've been able to feed him the ball enough throughout this matchup. Now back across, that's a knock on from Josh Papali'i. Of course, Tompkins going to be right in his face, giving him a tap on the head. And Papali'i has no option but to just accept that one. because at the end of the day, he did drop the ball. Don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Have you played Samoa? Have you played Samoa win the World Cup? I have not, but maybe it's a game coming soon. Huh? See what I did there? No, maybe. And also probably needs to go, says Daniel. Yeah, just a little mistake. Cost him big time there for Papali'i. Now, still 21 minutes left on the clock, Samoa. They will need 3 tries from here. And I believe all of them will have to be converted just to be drawing. I think my dad is about to give up. Says these nuts there. Although Samoa, like I mentioned, if they can get themselves a try soon, they're the kind of side that can score 3 tries in 20 minutes. But this English defence has been solid, and the handling of Samoa has been lackluster throughout the first little while. But going to be Dom Young. He's got himself 2 tries, maybe looking for the hat trick in this contest. Nice run from Mike McMeekin. Have to release him. Now back across for the English. It's a good tackle on Thompson, who manages to find the offload to keep the ball alive for England. Extra meters made now by George Williams. Too many errors from Samoa. And also they're missing their Samoan halfback Cleary, says Hanoi. Samoa needs a miracle right now, says Daniel. Going to be kicked in behind. I'm actually going to have a quick look here and see how the point system works. I believe it's just 2 points for a win, and that's it. I don't think there's any bonus points for being within a certain number of points, anything along those lines. I think it's just 2 points. Yep, 2 points for the win, I believe. I think that's what it says anyway. And England is letting Samoa beat themselves. Toa dangerous, all right. The problem is Matt Parrish, says Tangata. And also Nelson, still here in the chat as well. It is hugely appreciated you guys all sticking around. If you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would say that was not quite the most technical difficulties we've ever had on the Kiwi Lads live stream. We have had power outages before where we have gone to a black screen for a good 5 minutes. We've also had times when we've scheduled a live stream and they've not shown the game. Those ones are always fun to try and explain of why we have to leave within the first 10 minutes. And I haven't now, says Alice Boy. Currently, Samoa, they have got the ball in their hands 40 meters out from the line, starting to attack. Oh, here's another knock on. Okay, the English commentator has just said if they want to win this World Cup, they've got to learn how to catch this ball. Junior Paulo off the field, and that's going to be for Tapau. Samoa got a good team. Matt Parrish, his pass is used by, I'm telling you, changed the coach. He ain't no good guarantee. And also, have you been to Fiji? I haven't. I'm disappointed because I had the chance to go to Fiji, and unfortunately, I was unwell, I think a couple weeks before we were about to go. So strategically, we were maybe it's not the best idea to put the body under so much stress. So it was a shame. I missed a very good trip. It was a family holiday to Fiji. And it wasn't just the close family. It was my nana, my granddad, uncles, aunties. And yeah, I was stuck at home with the cat, which me and the cat, we get along all right. So it was all right. But out of the cat or being on a Fijian beach, I feel like the beach one's pretty tempting, isn't it? And Marina Hamish from Bolivia says, it was Matt there. Hope you are doing very well, mate. Another drop, says Swift. Yeah, just too many throughout this game, unfortunately, for the Samoans. And it's becoming a rinse and repeat kind of, I guess, I was going to call it a tactic, but it's definitely not the tactic. The rinse and repeat mistake from the Samoans. And now England, once again, with another attack. It's going to be Tompkins, late shot on him. They might have another look at that one. It's going to be another change. And also, we have got a donation from Jason Green. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. There we will go like that. There we go. From Jason. And also this is, says Alan. And also what is going on for the lads in blue. Yeah, I don't know whether or not it's the pressure that England are creating or whether it's just maybe the nervous energy that Samoa find themselves having for the first game. How late was that? Where is it? Bomb. Yeah, that's a cheap shot from Anthony Milford. You don't need to do that. And the thing is, it's probably going to become a penalty to England for something that really could have been avoided. Cheap shot. Very late. This is almost going to be a yellow card offence, I think. And come on, guys. England is just too good. So what does the coach have to do with it? Or what does the coach have to do with it? Says Alex. Right. They are saying it's going to be a 10-minute rest. Milford, yellow card. Oh, where did my cards go? Unacceptably late. He's going to be in the bin. Luckily, they don't actually have cards in rugby league, really. So they just go like this because I normally have a set. They can go like that, being together less than a week. Says Chris there, no excuse for the lack of experience. Says for Army, Sion, and also Samoa has a full NRL side and still play like baby Samoa need a winning mind going into games. says Nelson there. But Milford now with the next 10 minutes, he will be off the field, and this is going to be a great opportunity for England to really increase their points differential. Steph Curry, I came to Fiji this year and I took a picture with him. So Tool even gave me a signed jersey, a moment I will never forget, says Manjosh. Awesome. So yeah, I'm not sure when the next trip to Fiji is for myself, but when I do get the opportunity, I'm certainly going to pretty much jump on it. It would be pretty awesome to be able to go even to a local rugby game in Fiji. I feel like that would be pretty awesome. They need to stop eating butterflies, says D's Nuts. And also he missed, says Nate. So it's going to be the kicking opportunity here for England. Mackinson, yep, it's away. Oh, it's bounced off the post and it has gone over. So it's going to be 26 points to 6 now in favour of the English. And also I don't understand why they didn't have Harris Tavita play half instead of Milford. Yeah, it seemed like a bold choice to go with Milford. Definitely with, I guess, yeah, Harris Tavita would have been a very good option. Maybe the next game they go, right, we need to make sure we get the selection right, because if they don't beat Greece, there's a chance they may not even make it through to the quarterfinals, which is massive for the Samoans. I can't believe they can't score, says Fa'amisiona. And also Fiji is good, but too hot, says Anoi. And by Samoa, says Q. And wait for Tonga versus Papua New Guinea, says Alex Boy. Yeah, that's going to be an awesome matchup. We will be covering that one on the channel as well. Currently 26 points to 6 in favour of the English. A 20-point lead. So Samoa need 4 converted tries, or 4 tries indeed, at least, to be able to get themselves a win. Is TJ Perenara Samoan? Oh, maybe. I'm not too sure, actually, but I think maybe a little bit of Samoan heritage there for Perenara. Now it's going to be kicked into touch by England. They want to keep this game alive. They want to make the most of this man advantage they find themselves with here for the next about 8 minutes or so. Coaches play a big part. Example, Foster, says Tangata. And I feel like that example was about as far as you need to go for a lot of New Zealand fans. And they go, yep, we get exactly what you mean. And no pre-game for Samoa leading up to this match, maybe next game, says Nate there. And Milford is the issue for Samoa. Take the loss on the shin. So these accusation, please, says Buttermilk. And England scored, says Daniel. So currently only about 10 metres out for myself. And it'll be a big run forward from number 18, Chris Hill. Now looking off to the short side. It's another bounce pass, but they have been effective straight through. And Herbie Farnsworth, he almost had to try earlier on in the contest, but England get themselves another, and that brings up the 30 points on the board now for the English. And England scores, says Daniel. And also Samoan players are so dead, says Lullaby. And also we are actually in the cold season, says Manjosh. And hello in your lesson, Samoa, says Alex there. And England scores, says Daniel. But earlier on as well. But yeah, it was the try scorer, Herbie Farnsworth. He's been looking for a try throughout this whole matchup. He almost had one earlier on, but did end up dropping the ball around like they don't want to play, says Lullaby. And also this was basically Samoa's pregame, says Swerve in there. And also we have got another donation from Jason Green. Thank you very much, Jason. I don't know whether or not that's in time with each time that England score, there's a $1 donation or not. But if it is, I guess, yeah, England helping us out big time on the channel. And I was looking forward to this game. Them losing make my day miserable, says Fa'amisiona. And poor Samoa, says Loki. And us Tonga have been waiting for the moment, says Alex. And there as well. Yeah, certainly not the game that Samoa will want to remember as their first game in the Rugby League World Cup. But the good news is their next game's up against Greece. I'd like to think they'll have a decent chance of being able to put something together for that game. Head on to play France. Maybe get the win there. The points differential is going to be massive for this one. Lullaby has said 2 a.m. for this year. Currently in New Zealand, we are sitting 4:20 a.m. It's game. And there's Alex Milford, another player pass is used by Dave. So he's playing for the Newcastle Knights. And there, I told you 1,000 times, Samoa sprinting on a marathon, says Buttermeek. Right, kick for Mackinson. He's been kicking well. He's got 5 from 6. He's had a couple lucky ones. That one, it's absolutely gorgeous from the touchline there. His kicking's been brilliant, and that is going to be now 32 points to 6 in favour of the English. And also, it is sad looking at the boys trying to play a game without a warm-up game, try out the combinations and Toa Samoa team. It's getting worse, says Nikki Famai. And Alex Tonga versus Papua New Guinea is the game to watch. Both sides bring a lot of energy to the field, and England seized the momentum and ran off with the game, says Swerve. And there as well. And speaking of games, we are going to be covering another game later on tonight. It is not the Rugby League World Cup, though. It is going to be the URC, the Bulls taking on Munster. Throughout that game, we are going to also keep you updated on what is happening in Australia versus Fiji's contest, though. Just going to make the quarterfinals, says Nate there. Currently 13 minutes left in the game. Another big run forward from Chris Hill. Handling errors and discipline cost Samoan's game. They'll bounce back, hopefully, says Stanford. And there as well, on screen frozen again. Yeah, there was a little bit of a freeze on there. I hope that they managed to keep the coverage for the last 13 minutes of this contest. They've done well compared with the fact that we did have 5 minutes of no coverage whatsoever. And too much butterfingers in the Samoan team, says low-key. Now England once again going to be attacking, and that yellow card of Levi Milford, or sorry, not Levi Milford, yellow card of Anthony Milford may start to cost them a little bit more. It's kicked down behind, awkward bouncing one. Oh, Suali has to take it. He wanted to leave it, let it go dead, but it will now be the goal line dropout. I mean, I thought you guys said on TikTok, don't need any warm-ups and stuff. The excuses, says Alex Boy. Do the Samoan Rugby Union have a TikTok? Or sorry, Rugby League Union? Or sorry, the Rugby League people, I guess. Or it is kind of the Rugby League Union, isn't it? Sounds weird to say. Oh, yeah, no, it is frozen again. The coverage has not been the best we have ever seen. And the thing is, this is my first Rugby League World Cup game I've watched in a long time. Oh, it's back. Okay, goal line dropout now for the Samoans. Look like there might be a little bit of an injury in back play as well. That is going to be, I believe, Jaden Sewer. Going to be going off the field with a bit of an injury now. And also we have there Matt Johnson, all the experts pick Samoa, says Hanoi. I mean, I said Samoa by 6. But I also, like I mentioned, this is only like our 10th rugby league commentary. So I feel like it's one of those ones that we are allowed to make the mistakes. For the prediction, Bunnings NPC, Canterbury fly half Fergus Burke, 24 points over Bay of Plenty. Yeah, he had a very good game, Fergus Burke, and now Canterbury versus Wellington. Going to be the Bunnings NPC final. Should be an epic contest, and I really hope it doesn't overlap with any of the big games of the Women's World Cup. So GS Amish says repent. And also, we have got about a lot of people picking Samoa. But yeah, I feel like going into this game, Samoa, they were the favourites on the TAB. They play useless in this game. Your only hope would be Greece, says Loki. Yeah, they need to use that Greece game as their stepping stone to then be able to take down France in a big win. Because if they don't take France down in a big win, points differential may come back to bite them. Because France up against Greece, that game's going to be taking place in about 48 hours or so. That will be another game to keep a close eye on. So what the hell is going on? Says Far Messione. Yeah, unfortunately, the coverage is just not up to the standard we would like to see. The fact that the game's frozen a few times, Greece will be breaking plates and excitement, says Hanoi. And also, how come Oosgang didn't play the halfback, says Alex Boy. As I know that people were saying that Harris DeVita could have been a good option as the starting half. And also, they were 2 one-sided, says Cooper Cronk in the chat as well. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The next game we are covering on the channel will be New Zealand versus Lebanon. That is a 7 a.m. start on Monday morning. Going to be an early start, but it's going to be an awesome game. See how they do end up going. Right, they are just checking this one to see if there is another try for England. We've gone back into the coverage now. The TMO is checking it. Okay, retains possession, grounds the ball. England is what the man with the beverage is shouting. And that's going to be another try for England. Nice work from the English. Right, we get to see a replay. It was just a flat run. Breaks through over the top of Aloi. And yeah, good run from Whitehead. So that is going to be another one. Never passing the ball, says Douglas there. And let's go, boys. Keep pushing, says Don Ciali there. So England now with another kick to come. Try and make it 36 points to 6 in this contest. That yellow card has been really, really costly for Samoa. Now Samoa have scored cricket scores against Greece, or have to score cricket scores against Greece and France for the points and against Unleash, says McMillan. And also Samoa did their best. Full compliment to you, Samoa, says by to make a massive percentage booster, says Hanoi. And there as well. Yeah, 10 minutes left on the clock. Whitehead just managed to drive straight over the top. They were only early in their phases as well, and England getting the W for the Queen, says Swerve in there. And seeing Samoa by 6 is total F up. A lot of experience on the Samoa side. Expect expected the close scores. It's an embarrassing game. It looks like they don't know how to play. God save the Kings here, Swerve. And yeah, it's going to be kicked off. A low, awkward, bouncing one for Samoa, taken nicely. And now Thompson will return fire with another big crash up to the line. Tackle made by Leniu, and England are wearing Melbourne Victory jumpers. Pretty similar, to be fair, now that you mention it. And also a little bit of similarity to what we see from the Roosters in the NRL, just the slight difference in the shade of the kind of blue. Now passed out wide, starting to open up again for the English. Down the wing, Mackinson tries to go, and he does give it a forward pass. Referee's going to say play on, but they will have to go back and check this one. Whitehead might have just got himself the second. The crowd are cheering. We've got no commentators at the moment, and that's been awarded as a try. I thought it was forward, but they might have to go back and have a look at that. And someone needs to stick to combat sports and leave league for the horses. Says Loki, and also we've got the God Save Samoa, and also we have got the England too. Good, says Joseph. Elliot Whitehead, his second try of the match, so he is now joint try scorer leader in the competition. I want to go home, says Don. Right, we've lost our commentators at this stage, which is weird because I guess now I have to do the commentary. So this one, they did pass it away to the left-hand side. It was the wide cutout pass. Found the hands of Tommy Mackinson, who's had a phenomenal game. I thought this one travelled forward, but I think it's flat. I don't think we're going to see it from that angle. And 50 Cummins, says Q, and it's getting ridiculous. Here's Cooper Cronk in there as well. Yes, Samoa now find themselves 42 points to 6. Yawn. You say forward, it's forward, says Bottomik. It's Samoa first game, not their last game, unlike Alex the Kid. Says Nate there. Great work from Elliot Whitehead. The coach, I think, was loving it. Oh, okay, we can hear the referee. Okay, I thought they might have been discussing it. I think the commentators have just gone to sleep in the box. And let's get a 50-piece. Says Swerve there, but the kick to come. It will be Tommy Mackinson with the shot at the post, and he gets it over. Now 44 points to 6. England leading over the Samoans with another 8 minutes left on the clock. And what have you to Samoa mess up their halftime drinks? Says Q there. It's a good run down the wing from Mackinson. Unfortunately, the missed tackle from Stephen Crichton. Then that ball on the inside to Elliot Whitehead, who now is also chasing his hat trick. It's a dangerous game sticking your tongue out. You don't want to accidentally bite that thing off. And also, I saw it always forward pass, says Rugby Fans. Yeah, I felt it was forward. They didn't actually look at it, though. They just went, nah, it's all right. And also, this is exactly what Papua New Guinea will try to do to Tonga, burn them with speed. But they have to endure Tonga's tank onslaught, says Tangata. And also trying to switch off the TV and get some sleep for church, says Loki. And I think Samoa going to lose here, says Gareth. Probably a fair assessment for that one. And I believe it's a mistake from Samoa off the kickoff, trying to kick it downfield, and it goes straight out on the full. So another little mistake. And that yellow card is still in play. I believe must still be in play for another 2 minutes. No, it can't be 2 minutes. It's got to only be about 1. So I'd like to think they'll be back to 13 very soon. But during the time that they've been down to 12, they have conceded 3 tries in quick succession. And they're going to beat Samoa 100 to 6 to mark the history of rugby league, says Sione, ref paid on England, says Rugby Fans. And also the Tonga flags from Don. It's going to be kicked in behind. It's another try for England. And this time it's Mackinson who's gone in for the try. The grubber down the wing. You cannot look away from this English lineup at the moment. Their attacking has been on the next level. Okay, they want to make sure that Stephen Crichton has not been taken out in back play, and Samoan flags from Lullaby there. And also, Church today is all about you, Samoa, says Don. And also just shows what effect the intimidating Ponzi dance before the game has, says Awimba. Well, I guess it depends on the game. It just seems like Samoa haven't been able to find that next gear that they normally would like to find. And I think their game up against Greece is going to be very telling. Definitely with Greece playing France in a couple of days' time. I think that game's going to be a little bit of a deciding one. For Samoa's sake, they'll be hoping that game's close so that the points differential doesn't get too far away for the French. Okay. They just want to play through, make sure that there was no interference. Oh no, we've lost coverage again. Right. They're trying to fix it, and commentators are haters, says Lullaby there. And also England going forward, looking forward to the 50. Okay. Yeah, the commentators are saying he wasn't taken out, and that is going to be the try for Mackinson. And also disappointing Samoa making England look really good. Well, what a close game, says Spider-Mick there. And is the French team any good? They are better than Greece. But it's one of those ones that they are still about $301 underdogs to be able to win the competition. But saying that, Tonga, I think, are $1 or $151 to be able to win it. Right. So they're kicking behind from England. The space is just opening up right. Not Levi Milford. I keep on thinking of the sevens. But this has been a 24 or 22-point yellow card from Anthony Milford. And beautiful footy by the English lads. And also we have got there, that's what I suggest. A big fan over in Papua New Guinea. As I said, humble cheer up, boys. Says E-Squid, and also the Samoan flags from Malta there. And also this moment for us Tongans, says Alex. And there as well. But now another kick. This is to bring up the 50 points on the board for England. Mackinson, he's been kicking phenomenally. 8 from 9, getting himself the try. Now that's the thing. Normally you can kick all of them, but as soon as it's converting your own try, you normally miss. He is not. It's gone straight over, and it's going to be 74 minutes in now. 50 points on the board for the English over Samoa. What was the score for Tonga versus France? Says Alex Boy. So in the warm-up game, I believe Tonga were able to win it by about 20-something points. But I'll just quickly get that exact number. So Tonga, they were able to win it in the warm-up, 48 points to 12. So actually winning it by 36, sorry. And that one, and come on, let's get the 50-piece, boys. They have done brilliantly to get that 50, and now they've still got time left on the clock to see if they can get any more points on the board. Big run for from Thompson. And England just seem to be playing with a bit of a spring in the step. Brian To'o, he has been almost invisible throughout this matchup, and it's a shame because as soon as he gets that ball, he can be very dangerous. The coverage is once again cutting in and out a little bit, but in the hands of Dominic Young to then have the carry. Anthony Milford should not play for Samoa. He's an idiot, says a prodigy. And also we have that Papua New Guinea will perform on the stage. Go Papua New Guinea, says Alan. And also we have there Shadow Mouse Samoa English up, says E-Squared. And there's all right. The BT Tower is having problems. They've currently got a very loud beep in your ears. So I have muted the coverage just for now. Samoa used all the energy power in the Sivatal, says Macmillan, and party for Tonga tonight, says Q. And yay, mums, happy birthday, or happy celebrate with 50th birthday. So happy birthday to your mum. And there's Spider-Mick. If she does have a brilliant day. Best player for Samoa is no one. Everyone is bad. I think maybe they are enjoying too much party after the NRL final. I hope later game Samoa will come back, says Prodigy Son. Yeah. When you look through at the Samoan lineup for a player who's been able to perform here in this game, you got to look for a while, don't you? I feel like no one's really had a fantastic matchup. Isaac Targo hasn't been bad. Polo hasn't been bad. Other than that, though, really no one's stepped up to that same plate that we've seen from the English. Whereas you look through this English side, Tompkins had a solid game. Mackinson, brilliant. Watkins, pretty good. Farnworth, decent in that midfield. Dominic Young, sensational. Welshby, well played throughout this game. Williams doing well. So it's that big difference. Watch out for Fiji, says Laisani. And also I thought you guys had To'o, the main. And there says Alex. And also we have got there, or the man, sorry, not the main. And also Samoa Tai Tuivasa. Geez, he'd be a scary man in Union, wouldn't he? He'd probably want to do a shoey straight after the game, though. Don't know whether he would be allowed to. Papua New Guinea will win, and also Greece to win it all. Says you, and let's go Tonga. I'm taking my Tonga side, says Mission, and Papua New Guinea is on for the Tongans, says E-Squared. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. And another one, says Swerve. So currently the coverage has cut out here in New Zealand again, but it's another try for the English. They are just really running rampage at the moment. And the contest will quickly let you know it was this time, actually, it was George Williams. So a man who I said he's done pretty well, now it's done even better, getting himself the try. And also we have got there reminiscent of the Tongan 2013 World Cup team stacked, but we got whacked, says Tangata. And also Papua New Guinea should know their place. And there says Alex, and also let's get 60, says Webb. And the thing is, it doesn't look completely out of the question at the moment. The way that these tries are coming back to back to back, 2 minutes left on the clock, still enough time. And like they've just said, the only player in that back line to not score today is the captain, Sam Tompkins. Everyone else has got themselves at least the one try. Okay, they've given Victor Radley man of the match. Interesting call there. Mackinson for me is probably right up there as well, just with the way that he's been able to run the ball back hard. Also has been able to really get involved pretty much every attack, and I want to go home, says Alex. And also William and Young, great job, says E squared, and also that will be the ultimate send-off, says Swerve. So it's going to be kicked downfield now, looking for the 40-20, and it's gone out. That's a kick and a half from England. They are playing very well throughout this contest. Samoa just don't seem to quite be able to get anything really happening for them. At the end of the day, Spark is Ilo, and there says Don. Now another opportunity for England with 1 minute left on the clock. Well, it's time to have a nap for the next session, says Bitamex. So yeah, the next game that we are covering will be the Bulls versus Munster for the URC. That is at 7:30 a.m. that one is starting. We will probably have a couple hours sleep before Ian Burgess goes over. It's another try for England, and they will be sitting now 58 points to 6 in the contest. Here comes the 60. Says a win man talking for life. Samoa's gone. And also, is the Samoa's plan lose big just to go on and smoke everyone after, says Chris. If it was the plan, I would say that 20 points would have been a sufficient enough deficit to then be able to go out and smoke everyone, as you've said. Like, the fact that they now have to make up 50, probably more than likely 54 points. 54 over their games up against France and Greece. Remembering that France are going to have their game up against the Greeks. They're going to also have their game up against England, which I don't think they'll plan on losing by 50 plus points. So it's going to be an upwards battle for Samoa from here on out. And also the 60 soon says Hanoi. And also we have got there, they should bring Manus 7 to replace Toa. Said it was for Messiona. So this will be the last kick of the contest. And Mackinson, he'd love to close it out with another conversion. He has been very good throughout the game. 9 from 11 with an 82% kicking success rate. I believe the only kicks that he has missed was one of those ones kind of early on, and then also the one that we didn't get to see him attempt. But that one has gone over. Mackinson makes it 60 points to 60 at the end of this Rugby League World Cup opener. Massive result. The rain is now just starting to pouring for them in England for this contest, but it was raining tries well and truly throughout this matchup. And England, they were certainly looking the goods early on. Aussie will win this World Cup easily, says Aiden, and also less than 1 week together. No warm-up game showed, says Chris Seo. And there as well. And it's time for you guys to rely on Tonga. I think it's time for you guys to rely on us now, says Alex. And England, we're looking forward to putting 50 plus on Greece and France, says Nate. This is an incredible result. I don't know whether or not I have heard anyone in prediction-wise saying that England were going to win it by 50 plus points in this first fixture. And if they did, they would have gotten destroyed until this moment when they were able to get it correct. And also England playing a solid game today. Yeah, they played very well, England. Their backline looked structured. They were able to make their important tackles. And it does seem like they are certainly going to be looking forward in this competition. Proud of you boys, England. Yeah, woo. Damn, boys. You guys have done it. Tell you guys to shut up. The Samoans know you boys deserve, says E squared there. Yeah, the next game that we are going to be covering on the channel, it is going to be kicking off at 7:30 a.m. Bulls versus Munster. Going to be an entertaining game. We will be covering that one alongside letting you guys know what's happening in Fiji versus Australia. Probably too slow with handshaking, says Hanoi. 60 points win. Let's go, boys, says Swerve. And I think England to win, but not by this much, says Cooper Cronk. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we're going to be back with more rugby league in the future, and it should be a very exciting tournament if this game's anything to go by. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.